It's 20 minutes until we have walkouts and stuff as well, you know? So will be quite a while. Yeah, Haku was in for their first one as well. I can't remember, I guess Kellex is maybe I'll message Landon. Where is he? Landon. Let's see. He's not online. Oh. I'll see if he responds, but I imagine he won't bother logging into Discord on the PC, so we'll wait and see what we get. Any chance for fantasy for Esports World Cup? No, unfortunately not. We won't have access to the stats. So I kind of very much pulls the plug on it almost immediately. So current plan for fantasy is we are back for stage 3. Okay, so yeah, Kellex not available. So he won't be. So he didn't go. He didn't fly out with them. So he's not. He's not here today, and he's not here tomorrow. We're not getting a quick play going. I've actually. You know what? Oh, thank you, Fitch.
UK are doing their own fantasy, right?
Yeah, I heard that actually. I don't know what it's going to look like, but I heard they were. I mean, I'll do some digging and see what I can pull up, but I think won't be able to. What I was going to say about the quick play is I actually need to kill the command because my PC can't handle it anymore. With the 2K streaming, I've actually killed quick play potential. Was it worth it? What was it under? Viewer rewards. Rewards. No. Drops. No. Emotes. No. Power up and channel points. Manage channel up. Blah, 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 blah. Create a community channel. No. Custom rewards. Oh, yeah, I'm disabling it as we speak. Alright, it's off. When's the last time I played Overwatch 2? No idea. I've disabled it. You can't. When's the last time I played Overwatch 2? Like maybe 2 or 3 months ago. Missed those comp streams you guys today to get one on me, Chris, and Hunter. You know, maybe there's a world back into it after everyone's recent performance. Yeah, Alcad versus TM at the end of this countdown. Will I do? I'm gonna do power rankings for Esports World Cup again. Yeah, so I think a few things in the works, I guess, for the Esports World Cup. I'll do interviews with the teams and players as best I can. Maybe not all of them, but at least we'll try and make sure we get all of the NA and EMEA teams, and as best I can with the Korean and the foreign language teams. And obviously we're going to do an Uncoachable next week, hopefully, which will be a sort of wrap up of playoffs. And then I don't know what. And then we're definitely going to do an Uncoachable, like a preview for the Esports World Cup. Maybe we'll do one around the time of the last chance qualifier as well. Yeah, it's been pretty good actually, Dinosaur Cola. We watched the TM versus Team Vision. Great one. And the game that happened on the B stream wasn't that interesting, but the one we got to see on the main stream was definitely worth it. And this one should be decent crack as well. Now I'm sure Junkpuck would go on Uncoachable. Junkpuck's like really easy to get on with. I think all the boys like him, and I think he is like a reasonable opinion of us. I don't know who we're going to get for the next episode. I was thinking maybe someone from Alcad though, like Landon was maybe going to be the go-to. But yeah, I'm sure Junkbug would be good for it. Because we've actually not done one with Landon, even though it feels like, you know. No, not recorded Uncoachable. Currently, all members of Uncoachable are on planes, except for me. So, Chris is on holiday until next week. Hunter is traveling back to Australia. So it'll be next week at some point we'll record. Yeah, I've done Junk Buck for my like my one-on-one interviews before, but I reckon it'd be good for Uncoachable as well. Get UB on Uncoachable when TM wins Esports World Cup. Now, I think every time, because I've obviously asked UB for like interviews and stuff before as well, but I think his English isn't really like, it's not quite strong enough to really do like a long form type interview thing. It's why when invariably, if you look back over the years, or over like this year and last year, when I interview players from Twisted Minds, invariably I'm actually talking to Quartz more often than anyone. Like, you can speak English, but it's there's a difference between being able to like speak a bit of English and being able to do an interview, I think. Yeah, I feel like Kellex is a good guest. I feel like if you get Kellex on, you don't just want to talk about, like, you know, our normal episodes, or I guess our current normal episodes, where we just talk about, here are the results from the last one, here are predictions for next week, blah, blah, blah. Feels like with Kellex, you want to actually, like, let's go through a few of these iterations, shall we, Kellex? Hire a translator? No, I think a podcast is like impossible to do a podcast if you have to with a translator, you know? Even my interview I did with, if people remember, was it before Stockholm, where I did the interview with Moon, and Pavan very kindly offered to translate for me. But like, translated interviews are always just so much worse, I think. Not like, not the fault of the, it's just harder, you know? Like with Moon, it's much harder for me to ask follow-up questions, and Pavan isn't really a translator. For those who don't know, Pavan is the manager of Crazy Raccoon. But yeah, like it's useful. It's better than no interview, right? But it's not as good as it would be someone interviewing in their native tongue. And then that's just like that's like a 15-20 minute interview, right? Imagine a 3-hour podcast. Yeah, Kelsey's a good shout. I mean, obviously we have plenty of time. That's why Illusion's better than me. I mean, Illusion, people tell me sometimes I'm the big dog now, but Illusion is the real big dog. There's if you look at the co-streamer numbers, right? I reckon I do pretty well within my region, you know, within EMEA, I do pretty well. But then there's another tier, right? When you hit like Korea and Japan, it's very similar to in Overwatch itself. This is where you have Illusion, you have Tayo here. The person who actually gets closest is actually PGE is the closest to this. PGE can rival these two. But I'm a tier break below this, you know? I'm a tier break below. Those are the streamer power rankings. Just can't close the gap on those bloody Koreans. Nah, PG won't do Uncoachable. We asked him already, but he wasn't interested. Why not? He said he doesn't really want to talk shit. He doesn't think he'll be a good guest. So we tried to twist the arm a little bit, convince him. But wasn't that interested. Yeah, I think Sugar Free was the same. Sugar Free doesn't have the interest in doing like a 3-hour podcast with us either. What about Tom or OC? Nah, no disrespect to either of them, but I think like having especially when we're around match time, having the players on or the coaches or something like that gives us like much better insight, just because those players and coaches have access to stuff that Tom and OC don't. I mean, Quartz would be. I mean, I feel like Quartz would be. Like, Quartz is too nice a guy, I feel like. You know? He's just like happy and polite. I don't know if he'll have too much to say. No, Landon's never been on it. That's why we were thinking potentially Landon for next week. How about Krusty? He said he would come on it at some point. But that was a while ago now, so maybe things have changed. I feel like we need Genji to start winning before we can broach for option with Krusty again. So we need actually, if you want Krusty on Uncoachable, you guys all need to start. You need to start boosting Genji. You need to get behind him. You need to really. We need like a big Genji turnaround. Exactly, Foro. Yeah, 9K's English is good. 9K's been on the podcast before, yeah. Just on the podcast once, but I've interviewed him as well. 9K's English is good. 9K's a really funny guy as well. Like, the only other one, like in terms of people from like some of the Asia region teams that have like good enough English. Like I think Moby Dick. Actually, no. I know Moby Dick has good enough English, but it's convincing Moby Dick he has good enough English to come on. That's the hard bit. Any T1 player or coach? Probably not. Have you thought about inviting Lep? We hadn't thought about inviting Lep, but feels like he might be a little bit against it now. No, Rush doesn't have very good English at all. I think the same with Lip. Like, I've only met Lip like a couple of times, but it was always like the most basic of conversations, you know? Yeah, I feel like if you like to do a podcast, you have to be properly fluent in English. Do it in Chinese, so when Rush can use these Chinese skills. Yeah. Yeah, sorry, Evan, I missed your question. Was Hunter actually fired from SSG? No, he's still employed. So I think you need like a really high level of English to be able to do like a long form podcast. Especially think about. I mean, I'm sure I have like a good chunk of my viewership is EMEA, right? So I'm sure we have lots of people watching right now where English isn't their first language. Like, I feel like a lot of the humor and the way we talk and we sort of like talk over each other a bit and we're back and forth, I feel like that's really hard for people who don't have English as their native language. Like, even when we have Smash on, and Smash's English is really good, right? Smash's English is really good. But he even says sometimes you guys talk too fast. Like, if you ask him about Uncoachable, he'll just be like, I don't know what you guys are saying sometimes. You speak too fast. And it was the same as did I tell you? So it's at my wedding, right? So a lot of my friends, like my sort of TF2 friendship group, a good chunk of them are Welsh. And one thing that happens for a lot of Welsh people, and maybe a lot of people in general, but particularly in Welsh people, is they obviously have a bit of an accent, and when they get drunk, they talk a little bit faster. And obviously, once they start talking faster, it's harder to understand them if English isn't your native language, especially with the accent, and they're throwing slang in there as well. So few of my Welsh mates talking to Poco. And we were talking about this concept here of like, my mate Coleman, Mod Coleman, he was saying, oh, I'm really sorry. He was calling him Poco as well, but close enough. So, oh, I'm really sorry, Poco. I imagine like when I start speaking fast, it gets even really hard to understand. And then Poco just responds with, I've not understood anything you've said all night. I was like, yeah, that seems about right. You know, and Poco's English is fluent. You can have lived with Poco. His English is really great, but as soon as you start getting into dialects or people talking quickly, that's when it's tough. And I think I don't think my accent is very strong. I think Max doesn't have he has a bit of Australian, but it's not too strong either. And even Chris's accent I think is pretty mild too. But once we start talking fast and just taking the piss and all of this, you know. Getting drunker and more Welsh, exactly. Yeah. You can live with Poco. He needs to get away from his missus first. I reckon Poker would come on, but it'd have to be like an Overwatch League story type episode. I'm native English, but moved to the UK recently, and sometimes I've asked other people repeat things like a few times. Yeah, I mean it's even when it goes both ways because I remember being in Manchester, and they can understand me because in certain parts of Manchester the accent's quite thick, like thick Mancunian accent. It sort of goes both ways. So even within England, I'm sure it's the same in all countries, right? I always remember the one I can always tell the best. And if anyone's here is Norwegian, from what I understand, there's a big north-south divide in Norway. From what I understand, the south is the posh area of Norway, and you've got, I guess, what you would call a softer accent. But once you go further north in Norway, you get into the more rural part, and the accent gets a lot thicker. Same as actually really similar to the UK. Why am I so posh? I mean, I was born and raised in Kent, so that's probably partly why my accent is so neutral, I guess. Not Norwegian, but in the fjords. Yeah, man. Yeah, I used to play Overwatch with a bunch of Norwegian people, and I could tell. One friend who I played with, she was from I forget where it was, but one of the coastal towns on the south coast, and she almost had an American accent because she learned from watching TV and stuff. So her accent can barely even tell she was Norwegian. But then a couple of friends I had who are from the north, there was some tough. There was when you have to really focus to actually understand what someone's saying. It was that. Even in the US, yeah, I mean the US is huge as well, right? But I don't really know the different. But you talk about I know Boston to LA, Texas. I don't know, and I'm sure there's also 20 times that in reality. Kent sounds Kent is the county. So the area is the southeast, pretty much all of the southeast of England is Kent. And then you get Kent, and then you get London. But I was from a town called Ashford, which is actually it's slap bang in the middle of Kent. Forgot about Surrey. Yeah. Ashford sounds more English, yeah. Ashford twat. Yeah, they used to call Ashford Trashford because of the amount of trash on the streets. Bastards. They were right. How about Kevin will podcast? Impossible. When am I playing TF2 on stream again? I don't know. I need to change my stream setup for it, so probably a while. Any news on the Manny new forwards? Do you mean Mbuemo? Or is there? Because I saw, yeah. I mean, I think it's good. If you compare our attacking line last season, Hoyland, Garnacho, Anthony, Mount. Yeah. No fucking good, right? But Mbuemo and Cunha all seems suddenly it starts to look like we've actually got a pretty dangerous attacking line. So I think our squad for next year starting to shape up pretty nicely if we get Mbuemo. Yeah, I heard there was some transfer interest from Italy for Højlund, so I'm hoping Højlund goes. I heard Chelsea are potentially interested in Garnacho, so we can palm him off there. I think keep Mount. I'm happy to keep Mount. He just shouldn't be our primary option, you know? Yeah, Kai'd come on the podcast. He'd probably just, you know, hang out, basically. But he'd be good for it, I reckon.
البراكت فعلا يبدو انه جاهز قدامنا. فريق القادسية زي ما شفتوا في المباراة الأولى في الأبر فاينل قدروا ينتصرون 3-0 قدام برايت. بعدها فريق فيجن اللي تقدموا 2-1.
Yeah, Women would be good for it as well. Honestly, in many ways, it's not a shortage of guests that is the problem on Uncoachable. It's the lazy bums in charge of it. Yeah. It's yeah. Is anyone blacklisted? No. I mean, no one's like, there's not like anyone we'd refuse to, but we are like, we're keen to get people who we think would be good, you know? Like, a lot of the time when people do suggestions, it's like, there's nothing inherently wrong with the player or something, but they're probably just not that interesting, right? So I wouldn't regard some people as like blacklisted, but some people just aren't big enough or relevant enough, right? You know, like I think we've set a pretty good bar for guests, and we're gonna keep that.
بعدين اللي علقوا عليها برين وصالح الصراحه سمعنا اصواتهم في الفيديو كانت مباراه خرافيه انتهت بنتيجه 3-2.
So who isn't interesting enough? I mean, interesting sounds like a harsh word, but just not talkative enough, you know? There's lots of people who are nice people, but you know when Smash comes on and Smash is funny, when Psycho comes on, Psycho's funny, right? Like Kufa's funny. You need like a bit of personality, and if you don't have that sort of outgoingness, there's nothing wrong with that, but it makes you not particularly suitable for the podcast, right? Would ever get any We've had people from Platchat on. Avro and Jacob both done the podcast before.
أنا تكلمت مع الكابتن يوبي وقلت له وش السبب الانتصار؟ قال حتى لما نلعب سكريم قدام فريق فيجن ما هو فريق سهل، حتى لما يكون سبل معانا ما هو فريق سهل. فدائما تنتصر 3-2 ونفس السيناريو. قلت طيب ايش صار بالضبط؟ قال عندهم شوية ضعف.
When did we get a Danny interview? We had Danny on twice, and honestly, Danny, 2 good episodes, 2 above average quality episodes from Danny, and they are both our least viewed episodes. So the question, why do you guys not like Danny, huh? Riddle me that. I feel like Danny does talk shit. Danny gives us like behind the scenes leaks, he talks shit, he has his own opinions. But I don't know. He just doesn't have the name value. Yeah, exactly, Embran, yeah. Just doesn't have the name value. Yeah, Dinosaur Killer says, I thought the Jake episode was really good. Like, I think in the Jake episode, we did like, there was some funny bits in it, as hopefully always is. But also in the Jake episode, I feel like in the Jake episode, we actually covered like, that was like our big topic episode, you know? We covered the Esports World Cup situation. We covered some of the tension, I think, at the time between some of the comments we'd made previously on the casters and stuff. So I think we actually covered, I guess, some like pretty, what do you call them? What's TVNT doing? He's got no mouth. Sorry, I got sidetracked. I got sidetracked to TVNT. He's found his hands, but he's lost his mouth. He's made some kind of trade here. But, what I was saying was I actually think, yeah, the Jake episode was like a really combination of us hitting some of like the bigger or more, I guess, treacherous is too strong a word, but some of the more, I guess, divisive topics we've done in the podcast, while still having, I guess, some of like what we normally have in the podcast. Has no mouth and he must scream. Yeah, so I thought Jake episode was probably one of the episodes I was like, we've done something we don't always do here. And I think we did a pretty decent job at it as well. Yeah, I think you're right, Shilmi. I think our plan was always to do more of No's style of episodes in like the downtime between seasons. So we were going to bring it back at the end of 2024. But then what happened is 2024 happened or ended that season like start of December. And then we were straight into the season as well. What about a Lethal episode? Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Lethal would be good for it. We just have to, just have to mentally prepare myself for 3 hours with Lethal. But I can do it. TVNT a tortured soul? Yeah. I mean, he's going to get some playtime, though. I presume we're maybe going to Ilios. Can we get Wheats on the pod? Yeah, I think Wheats would be good for it. Don't, because we are gonna have to relive the Bastion on Rialto conversation, and Lethal is going to insist he's right, and then it's all just gonna start again, and we're just gonna have to relive that entire portion of our lives. I don't think Lethal has ever said a sentence that isn't bait. Yeah, the problem with Lethal is it's not just that everything he says is bait. He insists everything he says isn't bait. So you just get stun locked by him. But I think people would enjoy him. I think people would enjoy him, though. He lost his he was out of college land and he lost his voice and he was still baiting Zero with 5 words he can say. I feel like that is the worst possible combo, right? Lethal, someone who is internally baiting, and I've only met Zero a couple of times and like maybe like an interview here or there, but my impression is Zero is just like a good earnest young man, you know? Who just too trusting, just give Lethal the benefit of the doubt way more times than he deserves.
يا ونقطة جدا مثيرة للاهتمام كويس وفعلا توقعات موي انا احب بقول شيء انا احب توقعات موي دائما صح بس دائما ما يحدد لي مين الطرف. لا
Qadsiah was solid on Platcher. I mean, I feel like Qadsiah would be a good guest, and he has like obviously has the like Overwatch League stories as well. But I think he works because I don't think he works for OWCS, right? I think he works for Blizzard themselves, like more on the game development side. So I feel like we'd have to, if we're gonna get Qadsiah on, and he said Kuffa. If we want to get Qadsiah on, then I feel like we'd have to sort of lean into the development side of things, which would be, I guess it's more of a plat chat thing. It would be a bit uncharacteristic for us. But so again, it feels like an off-season episode. Oh, thank you, fourth leg Nick. Thank you for the tier 1. 11 months as well. Thank you very much. Yeah, I think it's like an interesting idea, but it's definitely in the off-season category or like between stuff. Qadsiah episode would be it would be like our debut patch notes episode. Wait, what were you saying about Zero? Yeah, Zero is a wholesome tryhard chungus and Lethal with permabait to Zero falls for every time. Yeah, that's how I thought the dynamic would be. So I'm happy. I'm happy that is the dynamic.
القمة في أوروبا، القمة في الدوري السعودي، قادسية وتوسد، مين ما يحب يشوف هذول الفريقين ضد بعض واليوم في الوينرز فاينلز في الدوري السعودي أكيد نتكلم عن قمة الدوري السعودي.
You guys are barely doing the episodes from season. Yeah, it's honestly the big hiatus we went on, completely my fault. All the blame. This is my accountability section. It was all me. All me. I was planning my wedding, which gave me maybe an excuse towards the end of those, the last few weeks. But before that, also my fault. Also my fault. I was at COD Champs with my friend who knows Adam, as in Australian Adam. And as per usual, every time we went to the bar, I asked him about what happened this season. And he basically said he wanted to be in the season, but the money was too shit. I asked him if he would ever go on and coach, but he said it wasn't his thing. Yeah, that's, to be honest, I've spoke to Adam a few times because we nearly signed Adam. If it is Australian Adam that we're thinking of, because we nearly signed Adam on London at one point, and then we didn't. I think he went to Florida. It was when he went to Florida instead. I think we were interested in signing him, but then we got Poco, and Adam went to Florida. Oh, different. Oh, that makes more sense, right? Oh, Adam, owner of Toronto. Yes, that makes more sense. Yeah, no, I don't think we'd get anyone. I was gonna say anyone proper, but I don't think we'll get any actual business people or owners and above, you know. London signing Toronto Adam would be huge. Whoa, Psycho's lounging. The posture has been adopted. You should get the 4th place coach of every region on Uncoachable. Yeah, we're pretty close, aren't we? We're pretty close. Whereas the scarf, seems like he might have lied to us about the scarf. So, Gamble? Oh, good shout. Good reminder. Let's see. All right, Qadsiah versus TM. Predictions up. Yep, TVNT in for the first map. Also in a quick recap for anyone who's missed any of the roster news. Simple isn't eligible to play, so Psycho will be playing support. TVNT in a starting position as well, though KSA is available. He played in the previous series. Over on the Qadsiah side, it's all the people you would normally expect, except Kellex wasn't available to travel to the event. So Haku is there, is going to be playing all the games in them for this tournament. Too old for such a long flight. Yeah. Psycho does not have the scarf as well. I mean, we could ask 9K to come back on, but I think 9K, if you were here when we were talking about Krusty and we said, like, maybe the team needs to win a little bit more first, I feel like 9K is not looking... not looking to do too many prying interviews anytime soon, let alone enter a room, spend 3 hours on a recorded conversation with 3 people just taking the piss the entire time. Interviews for every top 16 team. Not everyone, but definitely North America and EMEA, and then I'll fill in the gaps as best I can. Falcon should be possible. Crazy Raccoon are probably willing to do it again, even though it'll be a Pavan special. Maybe Zeta I can get as well. I can twist Moby's arm, I hope. Yeah, the pack team shouldn't be a problem actually. Yeah, pack team shouldn't be a problem. I'm trying to think. T1 I think will be hard. Hopefully I can get Baby Dick for Zeta. I don't know about AG. Yeah, Varro was another interesting one as well, but I can ask around. So, Ryan ban as we go over to Oasis. This is actually what Qadsiah banned last time on Oasis. If you remember, we're gonna need some kind of calendar and some kind of chart to make sense of and keep track of all the different bans and map picks across all the Qadsiah versus Twisted Mind series we're going to get in the last couple of months. But if you remember, not the last time they played Oasis, but the time before that, KSA actually went Reinhardt. It didn't go very well for him, but that has led to Qadsiah now just kind of continuously banning Reinhardt against against Twisted Minds. Lucio ban on the other side from TM does seem like, yeah, I think Gif said it already. Target ban on Haku, right? Haku, best hero is Lucio, and very much been a weak link off that hero. It's been a big part of the reason why Kellex has been such an upgrade and added so much to Qadsiah. Diva Sim mirrors are so funny. Well, wait, if you don't like Diva Sim mirrors, I've got bad news for you about the next few maps of Overwatch we're gonna watch. Is Qadsiah versus TM the Falcons versus Yeah, I think so. I think this is really becoming like the EMEA fixture to watch. Obviously, this is a scuffed version because there's no Kellex, there's no Simple, but you know these teams are going to keep coming to blows time and time again. Is Diva actually just broken? Not far off. I mean, particularly if you have Ziad, I think yes. Like, if you look at the way a lot of them, like, let me draw some stuff for you. But the way a lot of the time it works with, like, the sim, we'll see it when, it'll be less so in the mirror, but definitely when they're playing to the RAM comps and stuff. You will see Ziad just play this sort of one-man band, just go and, like, attack the backline. The rest of his sort of four-man group, there's maybe like a sim TP to join him, or maybe Checkmate can TP, or they can swing, or they can just walk into the Ram or something, or just walk into the Diva. But really, it's like the ability for these Diva just to take the piss and make these, not just make these solo plays and take attention, you know, because a Ram is very good at like blocking four people hands up. But the Diva has all this one-shot potential as well. And I think it's part of a reason. I mean, the fact that Ziad is so good at it really fucking helps. But I think it's really strong. The quality of Diva players in EMEA, like TVNT, KSA, Ziad, of course, I think just really lends itself to that. Vestler as well. Kellex didn't travel for it, had he? So it's all Haku.
الامامك الفريقين ذول هم افضل ناس في اوروبا، افضل ناس في اوروبا كامله يا اخوان، وحتى
all right,
نسبه كبيره انهم ينافسون.
Few seconds left. Get your predictions in.
ليش لا؟ تيم القادسية وتوستد.
Who's the biggest difference maker? Haku in for Kellex or Psycho in for Simple?
مناصفة او ممكن اقل شويه ما نعرف صراحه.
not sure about the patch.
نشوف حاليا ما ابو اويسس كيف الجيم راح يروح.
Can we get a smile? I can do a good one this time. I'm gonna go for a different attempt.
هم اللي اختاروا الماب.
That's my best one yet. That's my best one yet.
تويستد ماينز حاليا لكن تيفنت مثل ما ذكرت صالح.
There we go.
راح يلعب غالبا واكثر.
Now, yeah, honestly, I'm getting better, and it's mainly because Hash Brown keeps forcing me to practice. Yeah, no time spamming my original attempt. But let's lock in. Upper bracket final. Both teams still with a second life if they need it. Both teams weakened in their backline. Both teams going to be playing the sim. Look to play in the low ground here initially. TP comes in, Disruptor Shot onto that. It's an aggressive one, but Twisted Minds avoid a lot of that Disruptor Shot damage. Qadsiah playing second with the TP, just TPing to flip the map, keep themselves at range. Now, this type of competition into the Ramatra, especially with the Juno Kiri backline, this is the sort of thing that Ziad can eat alive, but it's just dancing right now, pirouetting around each other with these TPs as the map is flipped and flipped back again. It's a dance right now, both teams keeping each other at arm's length. Lamp has been forced though. Chance now for an aggressive move if they want it, Twisted Minds. TP onto the high ground this time to get Quartz a better position. And now, Qadsiah, they don't have a TP. They have to try and deal with this. Eyes on Ziad. Window comes out. One shot onto UB with that as well. Lubta had for Rail ready to go. Just needed a body shot to finish the damage. And Qadsiah, they had worse position. Quartz had for high ground, but the earlier ult charge will make the difference. Qadsiah will get first flip as a result. And oh, Ziad's going to finish off Quartz there, so more time off the clock. KSA still dipping his toes on point. I wouldn't be surprised if they just go back here. Yeah, there we go. Sorry, that's TVNT as well. I expect TVNT to play D.Va on the other stages, but the University, the most ground-based of all of them. So no surprises trying to see the Ram, but Qadsiah, they will play D.Va in every situation possible. TP and a slow pressure onto the backline. Lamp has been forced and a TP, but Ziad has he's just killed 2 people off screen. Quartz is going to fall off the map, just taking the reset at this point. And Twisted Mind, that was a Kitsune Rush push, by the way. Kitsune Rush push that was. But Ziad has decimated that backline. And this could mean a support ult advantage as well. But remember, as far as only support ults go, both of Twisted Mind's support ults are better than both of Qadsiah's. So Haku's Rally going to have to do a lot. It's going to be a TP to the right-hand side. Simwall comes out. Bowler over the top as well. Counter Simwall from Checkmate. Ziad will be demeked, but has the bomb. Bash, but not in time for the bomb. Haku could have timed that one better. Cancel the blocks if the bomb damage goes through. Doesn't do it, and Quartz wins the hit scan duel. Now, TP onto point, flipping it. A TP, they rush for backline here. Landon is pushing for it. He's so low, though. Quartz, Psycho, they deal with all the threats. Just need to clean up Checkmate now as well, and they can. And TM get the retake. Ults traded, pretty even. But really, Quartz the difference maker there. Wins an important duel, and that forces Qadsiah to make a quick move, basically, because they're a player down, they'll lose a slow fight. Can they try and equalise that disadvantage quickly? They couldn't. Twisted's mind switched on for it. Quartz is going to be forced to rotate. Oh, he's not going to make it? I don't think he does. Just about make it. I think Psycho or Astro, they must have reached him in time. Now Qadsiah on the enemy side of a point, but no ults to go with just yet. It's a full neutral. TP onto the high ground, but Quartz finds the kill. Quartz is having to be nimble right now because the TPs keep coming his way to try and clear him off. But Quartz avoiding them for the most part so far. And this is going to be integral for TM because Qadsiah, they like to be aggressive. They like to exploit the fact that they have the D.Va with this. Quartz has to be so switched on. He has the bowler for the next fight, and Psycho's going to have the Kitsune Rush. Landon has the window, but as long as the Kitsune Rush and can go over the window, they can win the fight with it. It's going to be a window flip right now, but Psycho doesn't quite have the ult just yet. TVNT is going to deep-hook into the corner. Bowler eaten. Now a chance to go through with Kitsune Rush. It's on the left-hand side as they swing round, but Lukter is just staring at him. It's a one-for-one trade. They're going to clear UB's TP so they don't have to worry about a threat. Now they're going to TP to the other side. Astro swings in aggressively, gets the kill. Will get traded right back. Now UB, it's a very short TP, but it's going to give him the extra shields. Taken down. Ziad forced to reset. As is Qadsiah, they know they only have one more fight, so a quick reset for Alcad. Annihilation, Simwall for point. Qadsiah are going to have for Simwall and nearly a rally as well. Lupta's going to get this overclock partway through the fight as well. They just need to be careful. Qadsiah keep losing people on these aggressive TPs they're taking. Shield up at the choke. Chance for this TP. Just trying to clear TVNT off. It's a Simwall to walk forward, but TVNT is going to slow it down. They're trying to disengage right now, TM. UB's going to get a much later Simwall now. Here it comes back out. Annihilation 2. Haku has for rally. Need that to stay alive. Comes through. Bash out, but Lugta dies on his way to it. But rally doesn't keep him alive at all. The Annihilation runs him over. And TM should be good for this first round. Just Ziad to deal with on point now. Psycho will take care of that, and Twisted might take the first round.
هذه الحركة اللي تكلمنا عنها يا اخوان اللي صار بكل اختصار فريق تويستد ما طمع ما شاف انه استخدم الوول شكميت ليش اساسا نستخدم الوول احنا عندنا وقت نرجع نحط الوول حق يوبي ناخذ الافضليه 100% نخلي البوم.
And okay, I mean that last fight all just came down to the later symbols. Checkmate started with it. I was expecting when they dropped that symbol maybe to see Checkmate drop an aggressive TP with it as well. So then you can make this really aggressive move, but instead of these situations where we saw them, Qadsiah do an aggressive TP, lose someone. With the symbol, you've obviously got extra protection, maybe you could last, but they just sort of use it to force point, and this allows Twisted Mind to get a much later ult trade coming through, and the Annihilation and symbol just too much. There probably was more of a chance to survive with Rally there than it seemed like. And it's just going to be one of the dangers. This back Brigitte is going to be very vulnerable to a speedring TVNT. Going to meet on the coast here right now. It's D.Va again for Ziad. More Ram for TVNT. And they have forced him out. In this type of fight where it's just 5 people walking to 5 people, the Ram will be king. On these slower fights where it's more spread out as we move over to a point, this is where the D.Va can get a lot. You see, they take the fight back to main, then TP to the high ground. Qadsiah have their Baptiste up there now as well, and Twisted Minds are going to play the opposite side of a point. TP swing onto the left-hand side. Can they find any meaningful damage? No. Bolt's coming out. Checkmate's going to do the same on the opposite side. Both teams just probing the angles right now, trying to get opportunities for their hit scans. TP flip comes through again, and now going to take it over. Now a TP behind Landon as well. He's had to lamp himself. Landon's in big trouble, and Ziad's trying to mark for threats. TM are going to be forced back into the cars area. Don't want to give the flip though. Half progress for Qadsiah. Last time it was an early window from Landon. That was the difference maker of the first fight, and he's well on his way there, but an aggressive TP. Now Psycho taking the duel. Lupta's going to TP away. Bit of an angle here, but Lupta has to slide out, but he's too quick. He's too slow to do it. Quartz is going to pick 2. Quartz is going to pick 3. We said it was going to come down to these DPS probing the angles, and Quartz good for 3. Now Quartz is going to be hiding with the bowler in this corner as well. Twisted Minds might just try and bait Qadsiah to walk forward here. Qadsiah, real chance to make some space from this window. Maybe a TP flip to point, but they're here. But bowler, I don't think it was in time. They all TP away from it. They TP to the opposite side. TVNT is there to meet him, but now the window comes out, and Quartz and TVNT have to DP, but TVNT, there's a diva behind him. He has to go the other way. His form's going to run out, and they kill him. Ziad there to cut off the exit, and now he can pocket the rest of his team in. Tank advantage. Twisted Minds might just stall out on point. Lupta's going to clear 1. I think everyone else from TM seems out. Quartz isn't. Everyone else is out though, and that'll be 43%. Nearly 5 ultimates to work with TM. Quartz well on his way to his second bowler. Qadsiah with the cast swap as well. Holding close for now, but there's a TP behind him if they want to back up to the point. I think they're just going to take the ult charge if they can. Then kite back, but it's a flip already with the Kitsune rush. Haku's going to meet with the rally right now, but has to be careful as that round. Symbols come out for both. Landon is separated from the symbol though. Quartz is going to push him. Quartz capitalizes on that split, and Haku again. The brig into the ram is struggling. Now swinging back on. Lupta's in trouble though. UB symbol was slightly later. And yeah, all just came in these game of flips. You saw TM flip to point, and Landon just ends up on the wrong side. So hard to keep track of your positioning and stay with your team and position correctly with all these TP flips and all this movement around. Landon ends up making a mistake there, isolated, and Quartz capitalizes again. I also see some of the downside of the brig. TP comes out, bowler onto the back line, has to lamp to save Haku's life. The Hainu gets a kill in the front though. They are pushing through the front, and Lupta's found 2. Now they deal with the flank threat, and this is a very clean fight for him as well. Oh, people taking that late trade. Now on point, Psycho's going to reset. Flip back in time for Qadsiah. They've got a window and a bomb, and it must be said, when we get to these big ult fights, Qadsiah's ults are so rubbish compared to TM's. The window, the high noon, the self-destruct. Really, the fact that Lupta found so much value with that high noon is a huge game changer. The slow's going to make this TP hard, but they do make their way to the high ground here, Qadsiah. Little dink onto Astro. Astro's going to have another look, catches another one in the face. Astro's going to have another look, 2 more bullets in his chest. Psycho's killed Checkmate on the low ground though, so Lupta's going to reposition to try and have more impact. TP from UB is just a short one just to try and help him live. Ziad's looking for the kill, tries to boop him through but can't find it. Missiles up now as well, but they have Azzy backs out. No meaningful kill. Qadsiah still in control of point as Lupta tries to get more involved. Self-destruct has been forced out. Ziad will get back in mech, and TVT actually dies to that one. Disaster now, and TM need to find a quick reset. They can't fully get out here, but any late deaths, any deaths now are going to be brutal for TM. They have all the ults coming up soon. They just need to live long enough to use them. Kitsune rush to make sure Quartz lives, and Qadsiah, they are going to force that ult for free and get back to point. High noon available now, looking for a potential TP flip with it. Quartz is there. Quartz tries to go high ground. Bowler is out. He gets the kill onto Lupta, but Haku trades it. No hit scans as Ziad tries to fly onto the backline. They are full pocketing, and Astro has died 6% short of Ray. Ziad now dives in, kills UB as well. An aggressive lamp from Landon to keep Ziad going forward. An annihilation on point does find the kill onto Checkmate. Ziad's going to come back and deal with him. But TVNT, he's still blocking up. He has pocket from Psycho. Landon tries to deal with that, but Psycho, he's trying to give him all the slip. He's run out of TPs, he's run out of cleanse, but the D-Mech is good. TVNT needs to kill this baby. Ziad hiding inside a symbol to help Ziad. Ziad is going to fight in his ram. On the back foot now, TVNT. The baby's too strong. The window's out from Landon. A high noon on point. They can't touch.
نقدر نقول سيناي، نقدر نقول فورس
They
سيناي.
will tie it up.
الأول بعد الهاينون صعبة صراحة لما سوينا
أداء
التاتش.
رهيب أداء رهيب من
Perfect
فريق
symbol coming back from checkmate to help Ziad out of that one, and then just can't quite get the touch in time.
السعودية عندنا إذا ما كان
But that was a dogfight.
حتى صراحة مستوى جدا متقارب. نتكلم إنه ولو إنه
And we go over.
الكومب اللي قاعد يصير
Go over to
خيارات.
Gardens.
صراحة في متعب كومبسم إنه مين
For all the proverbial marbles.
مواجهة جدا شرسة بينهم. ما عمرنا شفنا منافس اليوبي من فترة.
Looks like we're going to see not too many changes here. Looks to be sticking the cast. So in reality, if I'm the Ramatra, I'm like the looks really of this Brig backline. Obviously without the Lucio. I mean, obviously they still got the speed ring, but I don't know if in some ways the Lucio, like Twisted Mind kind of want the Lucio as well. But obviously it's better to, it's more value probably still to get Haku off and force the back Brig. But you want TVNT to be able to do a lot here against a back Brig backline. But they're struggling right now to get onto this because these TP rotations, they keep TPing onto Quartz, and look at Quartz, the pocket is good though, but he swings into Lubda and Lubda connects for shots. 4v4, regroup inside. Ziad's going to try and pocket his team. There's some turrets up here, but looks like they're just backing it out without their back. And pick up their main healer. Regroup and go again. We're going to try and TP on Quartz, and this is the TP that Checkmate is looking for the most. The TP onto Quartz's positions to, 1, kill Quartz, but 2, also get his backline away from this Ramatra. Ziad regrouping on the high ground. TVNT has found Landon this time on the TP. They're trying to group up on the high ground, but Quartz is just picking them off. And there we go. This time Twisted Minds have the read on the TP. Going to be such a pivotal part of this series, such a defining factor who can get the better read on the TPs and what the other team are trying to do. If anyone can ever anticipate it correctly, there are abilities that will punish these TPs quite a lot. Stuff like the bowler, stuff like the slow. But Quartz, okay, taking over right now. Picking spawn, Landon's going to be sent to the respawn queue again. Now Qadsiah will just reset.
تيم القادسية ترى بدون التيات صالح، يعني ودي أقول إنهم بيجيبون التيات راح يدخلون فيها بسرعة.
Quartz continuing to poke early, making the walk up as hard as possible. A TP back to the high ground tier. Landon's about to have a window, Lub to the high noon. Quartz has this bowler first though. Ziad's going to tiptoe onto point, try and force the objective. Wants to try and get that ram out position, but TVNT can anchor this. Doesn't want to have to use any of his cooldowns if he doesn't have to. TM are going to use the left and right hand side to keep a strong hold on this point, and as they drop, that's the timing to go. Landon's going to window on the high ground, one shots UB 10% off wall, and you saw Qadsiah patient, baiting them with the point force, get them to drop. As soon as they drop, we TP high ground, we window, we find the one shot. Patient from Qadsiah, they manipulate Twisted Mind's position, they wait for that opening, and then immediate action, and they hit their shots. And they win that just before all the big ults for Twisted Minds come up, because Twisted Minds have 4 great ults for fighting on point, more than Qadsiah do. So they need getting value out of these less powerful ultimates. The bomb, the high noon, the window is so important for Qadsiah in the series. The high noon drop comes through, Simwall bashes out, but the Simwall will protect TVNT. He has the annihilation to keep going as well. Simwall in response, but TVNT, he can push it here. He crushes Haku there. And the ult advantage for Ray, the annihilation. It's a lot. They've used everything, honestly. Ziad's going to die on point. Did hang on to that self-destruct Ziad, and everyone else was already dead. So that's the big 4 used by TM. Thank you, Ayumi, for the tier 1 as well. Thank you very much. So that, yeah, that's the big 4 from Twisted Minds, but it's desperate touch situation. Lubta is on Tracer, Ziad on Diva has the self-destruct. Recall has been forced, now onto Quartz as well. Ziad can take over the touch too. Qadsiah need to make this retake work. Flying to try and get onto Quartz, but Ziad's going to be under a lot of pressure. Lamp comes through, keeps Ziad alive for now. Flies onto the sim, UB caught trying to TP out that one. Now Ziad's on the back line, less than 100 HP, but he's stabilizing. Lubta joins him all over this one, and Qadsiah, they get the retake for free. And Ziad holds on to his bomb. Perfectly managed from Ziad in terms of how much he needed to get done there. Finds the kill onto UB, finds the punish after getting the touch. And now Qadsiah, their chance starts to look a little bit more reasonable. Twisted Minds, because they used all 4 in one go, it's going to be a while until they get their next power spike. Now Qadsiah, they have looked to help with these diva dives as well. And they have this window in self-destruct for next. This is going to allow Ziad to be more aggressive. This allows landed opportunities. They're going to TP for Tracer. I don't know if he was already on that position, but now Quartz on the rotation. He doesn't take the TP. He gets away. Landon dies. No chance to use the window. Ziad trades Quartz out, but the backline has died. Twisted Minds have crushed him there. And Qadsiah, it falls apart. Such good work on the retake. They can still stall this out. It's a Diva and Tracer alive. Qadsiah can touch for a while and they have ults coming back. Lupta's going to recall. Ziad can take over the touch. He's got some Matrix for him as well. And Ziad has the bomb. Now he's going to get stuck. Face checking for Ram. He needs Pocket to get back into mech here. Lupta's going to take over the touch. Lampert's been forced. Window on point now. Annihilation in play. He needs to try and get through this window, but it's so far. He's just trying to get to cover. Yubi caught by Lupta and Ziad. TP onto the high ground to deal with that, but Quartz shuts down checkmate. Quartz is going to look for more, but here comes Ziad on his face once again, on his case. Lupta is occupying the backline. TVNT's Annihilation has expired. Twisted Minds nearly have both support ults right now. Haku nearly has the rally. Desperate for this rally. Desperate for these support ults. Kitsune Rush comes through first. Haku responds with the rally. Lamp comes out perfectly for Ziad again. Now the rally to help him as well. TVNT is going to get taken down on point. Astro dies 2% short of Array. And Qadsiah have clutched again, but they gave a flip. I can turn it down a little bit if it's getting like... Yeah. Okay, Qadsiah, if they gave a flip though, so TM are going to have another crack at it, but an early TP and spawn. UB dies 10% off wall again. They get 2 kills. They have to run for the touch. Astro has Ray, but look how far back he is. Rico has been forced onto Quartz. Lupta's going to try and punish the kill now. They need another touch. Haku with a whip shot to finish it. TVNT runs onto point, but Ray is coming. But Astro's in all sorts of trouble. Ziad gets that kill. Now it's just TVNT versus the world. Psycho's going to TP to him to help. Needs another form. Won't be getting another form. Symbol over the top from checkmate. Qadsiah, good for every clutch. God, and all right. All right. Astro all smiles despite it. We've got a dual backwards cap from UB and Quartz. But no amount of backwards caps seem to be able to stop Alcad from a clutch. Alright, let me cash these predictions. 61% of you believed in Qadsiah, and you were just about right. Just about right. How good is Vision? Yeah, Vision went to 5 maps with Twisted Minds as well, so it feels like Vision very much in the mix with these 2 teams, especially considering both teams are suffering slightly weaker backlines. That's a big chance gone begging as well. Because that was really neck and neck, and as we've seen with these Qadsiah versus Twisted Mind series, you have to fight and scrap for every round, every map, everything. So when you lose for tight ones, it stings out a little bit more. Have to be said though, positives for Twisted Minds. Quartz is on fire today. And actually, it didn't feel... I actually felt like, you know, we see both teams outplaying each other with TPs at various times. It feels like they're right there in the mix with them. Quartz on fire. Still a great chance for Twisted Minds. Now, it was with their Lucio ban, though. So now expect Qadsiah probably to lean into Lucio Kiri further throughout the series. And that's where we might start to see a bit of a bigger gap. Joint towards, yeah, exclamation mark simple, but basically, Simple is eligible for this due to Saudi eLeague rules because he played for a different team in Stage 1. Bit goofy, but that's why he's not available. And KX hasn't travelled with the team, so he's not available here as well. So we won't see him today, or we won't see either of those players today or tomorrow for their respective teams. The rosters that you just saw on your screen, those are the rosters that these teams are committed to. With the TM still have KSA available if they want him. This doesn't give fantasy points, no. Fantasy, because we're not going to have access to stats for the Esports World Cup, so fantasy has finished. Our winners have been crowned. If you didn't see it, let me bring it up, actually. Well, we got a bit of downtime now. Let me bring it up. But if you didn't see, let me go to my Twitter. This one. So, these are our top 5 winners. And can I just, for those of you who don't, let me explain, if those of you who haven't seen the tweet already, what a finish this was. So, Wylaw had been in the lead for weeks. For a month plus almost. He had been with a strong lead as well. And then on the final week, Tilche scores 193 in a single week. 193 on a single week. To bring themselves out of nowhere, level with Wyler as we stop the count, you know? And the tiebreaker in these situations is who has the highest individual week. And that game week 8, that final week 193, also wins in the tiebreaker. So, unbelievable clutch. Unbelievable. Like, honestly, I thought, I mean, it's still like a decent win for Wylaw, right? Like, free to enter, you win £125. Worse things have happened. But what a clutch from, I'm not sure if I'm saying it right, but Tilch or Touch. Is 193? I'm not sure. Not sure. I'd be fuming if I was Wylaw. It's so impossible. Where did I finish? I can show you where I finished. I dropped in the last week. Oh wait, hold on. I've cleared my browser history. I should really have a favorited out of respect. I was 120 something going into the week, but then in the end. Oh wait, hold on. Fine. Wait, hold on. Just swapping you off while I log in. Oh, okay, it saved my details, actually. That's not too bad. So, yeah, my big failure in fantasy was Kellen and Sugar Free. You guys thought you were upset at the SSG result? Imagine how I feel. So, I think I dropped to like 200 and something, maybe like 180. Yeah, 187. So, 187. So a pretty disappointing one in the end, honestly. But it was really that last week that screwed me. Because if I go to, what were my points last week? Yeah, 102. Could have been so much more. Because the rest of my team, like Checkmate, RuPaul, Landon, all scored really well. It was just SSG that held me back.
ايه ترى اخر مره يا اخوان عشان نكون واضحين ترى باند اوريس اللي استغربناه انا وصالح وقاعدين نسولف فيه ترى كان غلط يا اخي مستحيل توجد بند دون رام مستحيل نسبه درام. I told you UB said to pick. UB didn't score that well though. I think what I should have done is I had Jwoo, but I thought Sugar Free would get more points. I should have kept Jwoo. And I should have turned Kellen into Ziad instead. Right, if I had done that instead, kept Jwoo, because I used a transfer to turn Jwoo into Sugar Free. But I had Kellen previously as well. So, yeah, if I'd... Oh, he said to pick Jwoo? Oh, okay, yeah. But if I had kept Jwoo, bought in... I couldn't have bought in Ziad, actually, because of the thing. But maybe I could have bought in... Infected would have been too expensive. Yeah, maybe I would have had to do, like... Yeah, I would have had to figure something out. It wouldn't have quite worked, but yeah. Anyway, let's not get too bogged down in the past, because we are also living in the present. Tracer buff tricks so many people. Yeah. I completely missed it. Do we now have an Overwatch version of fantasy football? Yeah, essentially, yeah. We won't be able to run it for the Esports World Cup, though I think they're doing their own thing. But we are going to bring it back for Stage 3, and we are hoping, should be good, to have Korea available as well. We won't include Korea in NA and EMEA because different tournament formats make it awkward to score, but Korea will be its independent region. No pressure, Toby.
My sister, without any knowledge, has 125 points weekend, and she had Psycho who didn't do anything this week. Some people just have the gift. Some people just have the gift. Ooh, thanks, mods. Quick gamble then, sorry. Quick gamble. TM. Ram ban. TVNT in, so they want to force the Diva Mirror. Qadsiah are going to ban Freya. Force a potential Sojin Mirror. So Lubta now, at the moment at least, is hovering that May. We'll see if he walks out of spawn on it. Actually, no, he has walked out of spawn on it, so he's sticking it here. So Qadsiah with the Ram ban. This is a bit weird, because normally it's Qadsiah who use the Ramatra ban against Twisted Minds to force them into this Diva Mirror and then play this sort of sim May comp. Ah, it was the wrong way round. Okay. That explains it. That seems more reasonable. Okay. So, Twisted Minds are going to ban Freya, partly because they want to protect the DPS, to allow Yubi to keep playing sim. But now it's going to leave the Ram ban open, and Qadsiah are going to force the Diva Mirror. But Twisted Minds, I think, don't actually mind this either, honestly. Because they've got TVNT in, and once they did that, it did feel closer. Lots of attention now onto Psycho and Haku, the stand-ins in the backline. And lots of eyes on... Wait, TVNT's going Monkey? I have serious concerns about whether he's... When he gets Primal and we see if he's got any hands, I think I know what the answer's going to be. I mean, the comp from Qadsiah is designed to beat up a Diva. So, what's one way to solve that? Stop having a Diva, and it's a clean shot from Quartz to open this one up. Now, they double down, they drop into him, but Ziad immediately demeched. Great shot from Quartz. And I mean, honestly, I like the comp swap. I think Winston's good into Diva. And this type of mirror, Winston pretty good into Sim. Ziad can't really... What's Ziad going to swap onto here, you know? The Ram would be better, but obviously Qadsiah have banned it. This is clever from Twisted Minds. All you have to do is believe in the TVNT Winston, and suddenly it's possible. I guarantee you, Qadsiah not expecting this. Defensive bubble from TVNT as they all group up. Look at this beat. Difference. Astro has the beat. Haku. Halfway there. Beat push comes in now aggressively onto it. Swinging onto the back line. Ziad's going to die going for the bomb as well. Thanks to that beat over health. They're going to flood forward now. No trades. And the Winston was always the answer. I guess. Kitsune rush for both teams now. Haku will be getting that beat charge up. But as you can see, Lubta, of course, started on the May, swapped to the Sojin, way behind on the overclock charge. There's an option here for Twisted Minds to start with the overclock, try and force an earlier ult out of Qadsiah, then just have more to go in the layers. Lubta, no, full rail on high ground, has been TP'd into position, but he can't find them. They're all just underneath right now, Twisted Minds. TVNT's going to swing up with the bubble, just using his bubble to brawl now. Symbol in response to that Kitsune rush, and their own one. And TVNT all over it. Both hit scans go down. Horse didn't get a chance, but TVNT, he's nearly got the hands. Eyes on TVNT, a primal clutch. He drops it. Checkmate is down immediately, but Landon wins the duel. He emotes as well. TVNT comes. Landon still gets away. Landon, full BM. Doesn't care that the fight's still going on. Emotes on Psycho's corpse. We'll be able to get out of that one as well. TVNT can't trade it. And the primal comes to nothing. Huge play from Landon. And now Qadsiah have a bit of space and stabilization to work with. And they have a beat. But look at Astro's beat. He's already at 68%. He's going to lap Haku. Overclock for Quartz if they want to start the fight. But might be a TP just to try and navigate some space for him as well. TP onto the high ground, they swing out aggressively. Yubi's boots in, the beat in response to this as well. Quartz is far back with the overclock, they try and TP out of it. TP back in from Quartz, boop onto checkmate, but Quartz can't connect the shot. Even trade of ultimates now. Beat for beat. Lubta's going to drop the overclock though. No beat to respond with this one, remember. Self-destruct out as well. Can Lubta chase anything down? Needs a kill right now. First one's going to be Matrix. Just damage into the Diva now. Nothing, but Ziad has found Yubi with that. They're so low. Kitsune rush over the top. And that should finish the job from Landon. Late DMEC. They can stagger out the baby Diva here as well. And yeah, but I don't know why they... Honestly, I don't know why they swapped the Winston. He's not going to be the best Winston, right? We can all agree that.
تويستد عارفين عن هذا الموضوع.
I think I can get behind the comp.
ينتظرون الخمسه كل ما تعمل سبون دخله واحده.
Alright, early aggressive play here from Qadsiah. They have the TP back on point if they want to disengage. Yep, they're going to TP back to the high ground. Looks like Haku maybe didn't get it cleanly, but he can still wrap around and get back to the team. Psycho's got a Kitsune Rush advantage, but there's also a Symbol trade to come in. They're playing aggressively again. TP flip, it's only Quartz and TV&T who take it though. Everyone else has died. Hoping for a trade if they can here, but not looking like it, and they'll be forced to reset. TV&T will be able to reset himself quicker off the turret as well. 2 minutes left for Twisted Minds on their attack for second point, and they are coming up to all 5 ultimates. Qadsiah, not far behind, but they just need a little bit, but they're holding close right now. They want to catch Twisted Minds without their TP before they're ready. Big damage onto Astro, but no, Lupta kills it with the Disruptor shot. I thought Astro was going to live, but he can't, and Qadsiah, they TP out. It's a hit and run. Kitsune Rush even came there as well, and Qadsiah streets ahead right now. They swing back in as the Kitsune Rush fades. Twisted Minds under pressure. Will they use more ults? They're trying to weather this Kitsune Rush storm. They drop the self-destruct. Ziad has one of his own though. Will drop that bomb and regroup with his team. Lupta finds an important kill onto Astro. That's the beat out of the fight. Lupta's going to keep swinging now. TP available. More pressure onto the point. Checkmate's got the off angle. He kills 2 with the help of Ziad. And that's the DMEC. And Qadsiah, they just found another gear. A faster pace, an up tempo. And Twisted Minds are struggling to keep up right now. Quartz in trouble. Haku will win that one. And now, Symbol overclock beat still to go. Same for Twisted Minds. But they are being held at the spawn. Only 1 minute left. Twisted Minds need to find a way to break through this. TP there, flip. Only a couple of them take it. Beat comes through. The rest of them follow. Beat's going to be matched. Lupta with the overclock though. Quartz gets shut down and his. Lupta's overclocked us more. Now he's got three shots. Into Nistiva. Into the Kiriko. Ziad is playing sweeper. Everyone will die. No one will trade on the side of Alcad. They're going to stagger it as well, yeah. 30 seconds left. Late death for TV&T, who finds a turret. Symbol, Kitsune Rush, self-destruct. Qadsiah ahead on the ultimates. TM. They've not got a lot of time. Often we would see TM play disengages in these situations to equalise the ult economy, but they don't have time. They have to go for a TP flip. They do get all the way through. Reposition force. Symbol comes through on point. Yubi's going to mash that one, but Landon has the Kitsune Rush ready to go over the top. Eyes on this one. Ziad is on the back line. Kitsune Rush. Not quite there. 1% for Landon. Come on, Landon. There we go. Kitsune Rush comes through. Pressure now. Yubi is normally the primary target. Ziad flies in, but Yubi kills himself. Destruct force. Yubi's now got the off angle, and Quartz has found a rail in all of it. Still fighting into this one, TM. Now full beam. DMEC is good. Checkmate still trying to battle away. TP there kills Yubi. Crucial kill. They're still playing on the Kitsune Rush from Psycho. They're pushing forward. Ziad's trying to reset. But Landon's still stuck behind. Can he get the TP out? Yeah. Ziad went back to pick him up. And Qadsiah choose to cut their losses there, play for another fight. TV&T doesn't have the mech. Crucially, they drop in though. Landon comes through. 2 for Landon. 3 for Landon. Oh my god, Landon is on fire. They regroup on the high ground. They go quickly before TV&T has mech. There's no matrix, so every kunai's going through.
لاعب مو طبيعي والله اللاعب هذا مو طبيعي. انا ياما شفت احيام كثير انه هو دائما يتفوق ترى.
Insane from Landon.
هذا نادر تشوفه. نادر.
And that's a good hold for Qadsiah. Look where like underneath the bridge. This is such an awkward place for Twisted Minds to hold second. Thank you, Impulse, for tier 1.
Has SSG considered late worm theory?
Maybe. Why change for Winston? It's a great question. For Winston actually looked really fine. All the normal things, not TV&T's strength, you know. But I always feel when people play heroes they're not known for, heroes they aren't comfortable on, right? I always feel if you're playing a hero you're not comfortable on into a mirror and the other team's just, you know, playing the same heroes as you, but they've got players who are more comfortable, this is really rough. But if you are playing a hero you're not comfortable on, and it's a counter comp, or there's a counter-ish playstyle where you just have like a clearer, here's what I do, you know? Like what was TV&T doing with these bubbles? Was he doing some crazy dive in, play it, dance around the bubble, jump out on 1 HP. No, he was just walking into him and just bubbling UB, and they were winning the frontline brawl off the shield. That's a really simple style to play. That's a pretty safe style to play. You just need to be, you need to be a function in the team there. You don't need any big clutch or anything like this. So I actually, yeah, I agree with the concept that I would have liked to see more of it from them. Alright, sorry, locking in. Simwall out. Again, Qadsiah trying to play the beat up the diva composition with the Sim Mei. This is what originally caused the Winston swaps from Twisted Minds, so when they get the opportunity, they might go for it again. For now, though, Qadsiah flip the map, but Twisted Minds have maintained decent position. TP onto the fire truck, trying to get onto Quartz. They can't catch him, though. Quartz is going to TP away. He's TP'd onto point. He's in trouble now, though. They're trying to find a trade onto Ziad. They do get the D-Mech. They need to keep UB alive through all of this, though. Lupta has to remech. More pocket onto UB. He TP's away. There's more pressure coming through. Astro's going to die. He's going to get D-Mechs as well. They're still trading it out. Psycho's found one. But they will get it over the line in the end. And you see it again, it's these split-second decisions in very chaotic fights with multiple TPs. Can you find the space? Can you have that vision of where is actually safe in the map? Quartz there, normally so good at it, but gets hunted down. And now Qadsiah, a lot of ults coming up to work with. And remember, 5 minutes to get it under the bridge. Surely there's no problem here for Qadsiah. It's their map to lose at this point with this time bank. They're walking forward. Symbol available first for UB, but Checkmate's not far behind. UB trading beam right now. Quartz has the rail as well as they look to swing. UB's going to drop the wall. Checkmate matches out on Kitsune. Rush has come out from both teams as well. Beat slightly closer for Astro, but Haku's still with it. Full beam's coming out. Both teams going to reset here as we wait for the next layer of bolts. But Quartz, what an important kill! Just as the beats come online, Quartz finds the pick. That allows Twisted Minds to push forward and look for more. Quartz is going to swing right-hand side. Qadsiah needs to be careful. Because an important kill there resets it. Twisted Minds though, there is a Blizzard coming up as well. TVNT needs eyes on this Mei. He's got no hands, he's got no mouth, but he's got eyes. Swing comes round, UB under a lot of pressure. Beat comes out from Astro. Haku's going to match it. Quartz didn't get the beat, but he has got the overclock. Blizzard is out. UB's going to TP away. TP's out of it, looking for the trade. Lupta finds it. Checkmate and Lupta finding the picks as they flood in here. And the Blizzard didn't find any kills, but it forced Twisted Minds to commit forward into the position. And TVNT didn't quite have the bomb. Zia's going to get a little bit of free ult charged as well. Oh no, they got it further under the bridge. I swear that's where the payload... Yeah, it's actually at the top of the bridge. It was just where the car ended there, so I've misled you a little bit there. My deepest and sincerest apologies. Either way though, Qadsiah are one fight away from victory, and they've nearly got this Kitsune Rush ready to go. TVNT is going to stall it out, and Twisted Minds, they do have the high ground now, so opportunities for Quartz to find something maybe. A wall up doesn't actually work out for Lupta, but they're going to Kitsune Rush on point. Twisted Minds have no choice but to contest. TVNT has the bomb. They need to make sure TVNT gets back into mech. A little fly through, a TP on the bomb as well. Ziad's gonna drop his own self-destruct right now. TVNT gets remexed. D-mexed as he remexed rather. Now full beam on point. Checkmate is clearing up a symbol as well. They need to touch. Psycho's gonna run for it. He doesn't quite get it though. I don't know if it would have made the difference. It was 5v3. Qadsiah gets 2. And Qadsiah starts to become business as usual as they take the 2-map lead over Twisted Minds. Why did TVNT bomb so early? Yeah, I presume he just got D-mexed here. Because there was a Kitsune Rush. I do feel like, I think you're... Like, it's hard, but I do also feel like there was surely... I don't know if there was a way that actually TVNT should have lived for a little bit longer. I mean, it is double beam, right? It's really hard. Really hard. Yeah, you can actually see the moment his mech runs out, and he just gets, or his matrix runs out rather, and he just gets one shot actually. I mean, this was always a hard fight, like just ult-wise for TM. This is where you need, like, you just need Quartz to hit something. I do think, if anything, there might have been... I mean, they try and TP the bomb, right? And that was kind of their play. Alright. 2-map lead as we get those replays. And certainly seems like we're still seeing a lot of the same from Qadsiah, right? Ziad is getting through huge amounts of work. Landon is on fire on the Kiriko especially right now. The sim battle feels relatively blow for blow still. And this is the tough one where he gets demexed for this as well. And when that happens, it's so tough.
وقت جدا جدا عالي وتيم القادسيه مثل ما ذكرت صالح لما فاز البوينت الاولى من اول فايت هذا الشيء اعطاهم الافضليه خلاص.
Yeah, I think it depends a little bit on the matchup. But yeah, the extra range is really powerful into the Diva. Especially, think of Qadsiah, what they keep trying to do when there's no RAM available is just use this mace in this double beam, right? And that's really putting them in that's really making the extra length really makes it hard for the Diva.
ترجع له الفرصه مره ثانيه انه يختار الماب والباند معانا.
ممكن نشوف نيو جنك سيتي. انا شو اتوقع شوف.
Okay. All right. Talking about next map, I think. I do need a drink though. Let me grab some water, a Pepsi. I'll throw you to an ad break, and we'll be back in time for map 3. Predictions are open for map 3. Qadsiah, 1 map away. It is only it's best of 5, so Qadsiah very close to securing their spot. I think I'm hoping the finals are best of 7 tomorrow, but I think we're all. Oh yeah, grand finals first to 4. Beautiful. Yep. So best of 5 today, grand final best of 7 tomorrow. All right, so let me leave you with that. I'll throw you to an advert, and I'll be right back.
تلعب بالنار والله تلعب بالنار. انا تشيك ميت راح يكون متعب بشخصيات ثانيه بعد. فايش رايك انت الان لو مدرب فريق تويست بريم ايش تقترح؟
والله غالبا راح اروح الماب سيركت. سيركت وبند مثلا كيريكو كذا بيضطرون تيم
القادسيه. باب احسن
اني بند باب.
بدايه ان لاندن بيضطر انك انت مثلا اوكي
بيلعبون كيريكو لوسيو. شوفنا قديش مستواهم قوي وكيريكو لوسيو. انا ما ودي انه تيم القادسيه يلعب. اذا سالتني كاني كوتش لتويستد ماينز، اذا لعبوا تويستد او عفوا لعبوا القادسيه كيريكو لوسيو راح تكون مزعجه جدا. بنفس الوقت القادسيه برضو عندهم خيارات في حال انت بنت والله تصدق خياراتهم قلت شويه. في حال انت بنت او لعبت ماب سيرك ترى ما يديهم بندور رام. صار شيء ايجابي تويست بعد.
ممكن تبني طيب ديفا. بين ديفا ماب سيركت.
ديفا ما راح يلعبون ديفا بسيركت.
تيم القادسيه هم اول فريق اساسا صار يلعب ديفا ماب سيركت وصار كل
حركه التي بي مع تشيك ميت صح. البوينت الاولى
تي بي وفي الماتريكس وتشيك ميت. من ديفا راح تبعثرهم شوي بالذات انهم حاليا صار لهم سبليت شوي من ناحيه البراكتس انه كانوا متعودين يلعبون جون وفجاه يعني احيانا يدخلون لوسيو بس اغلب الوقت جونو. الان لا راح يلعبون مع بريك. مضطرين يلعبون مع بريك او لوسيو. فخلينا نقول نوعا ما فريق تويستد مايند لازم يستغل هذا الشيء. لازم يكون باندا ذكي ولازم انه يضرب القادسيه في الماب هذا بحيث انه يقدر يسترجع ثقته في هذا السيريس. بدأت انك تتعثر 3-0 يعتبر شيء جدا صعب.
اكيد تويستد مايند حاليا متاخر بالنتيجه 2-0 من امام القادسيه. اللي يفوز هذا الجيم يروح معنا للجراند فاينلز غدا في الدوري السعودي. فاكيد ان تيم القادسيه وتويستد مايند يحتاجون بريك ونرجع لكم باذن الله بعد البريك.
I was rushing. I was like, oh, I don't want to start the next map, and I don't need to rush. I didn't need to rush, did I? Who won Midtown? Qadsiah, and it was pretty comfortable, wasn't it? Don't flatter me. Fuck. Guys, I'm back. Someone please unflatter me. Will Vision play again? Yes. Oh, actually, we should check in, because Vision are playing in the lower bracket semi at the moment. Can I get a score update? Oh, they're only one map in.
خصوصا الباك لاين صراحه ضايق الان درس معانا بشكل
كبير
خصوصا بالاتياف
الفاينل وينر almost boy يقولون بيه على فريق الماي ف
انا من ترى المستعد
زي ما قلت الاشياء هذه تصير زي ما شفنا.
I'm blind when there is. Is there a pause or something?
هو اللي بيتأهل ولكن خلينا نقول ايش ناقص تيم برايت فيوتشر على اساس انه يتأهل.
What shampoo or conditioner do I use? Have a guess.
معناته على هم فيجن عندهم الادفانتج بس ما هو مو بشرط انهم هم اللي مثالي بس هم عندهم الادفانتج.
Why are you blind?
جايين من جيم
Don't know. Combination of age and bad genetics, I reckon.
almost boy يفوزون فيه على فريق تويستد مايند. ف يعني هم جايين بنفسية افضل جايين باداء افضل بينما فريق برايت فيوتشر شفناهم كيف تعثروا قدام فريق القادسية لكن فريق برايت فيوتشر
من البوزيشن الحالي حقهم ولكن نلاحظ هنا انت بانه قاعد يحاول يحسب البوينت الاولى لصالح.
Am I going to be at an esports World Cup? Don't know. If they ask me to work it, I'll say yes. If they don't, then I'll just co-stream it from home. Because there's two options. One, I'm asked to work it, and I'm really excited because it'll be a big opportunity. That'll be really cool. Nice to cast officially. If not, then I think we've probably got. I've got some plans. I've got some plans for a co-stream that will go pretty hard. Luckily, a few of my mates have done me a great favour by shitting the proverbial bed with their teams and might be available. So we might have some kind of uncoachable stack for an esports World Cup stream. So now I think that'd go pretty hard, right? That'd go pretty hard, no? Me and Hunter casting, Chrissy on the desk. Maybe get a couple of other people in. I mean, I've got some ideas for the desks. Obviously, Chrissy is a must. But then get a few other people who didn't make it. You know, I think double the wine budget now. Yeah. Hope I'm not invited to go then. Cheers. Yeah, you guys actually have to root against my interests.
الصراحه هنا نشوف فعلا نفس ما ذكرت انه ثلاث ثلاثيات يمديهم يسوون هولد بالراحه حرفيا ولكن هنا نشوف انه بوزيشن فريق برايت فيوتشر مره جبار خلاص برو بليز نزل بالالتيميت ولكن مستفاد منه سرعان ما
The streams of extra guests. Yeah, well, I was thinking I've not spoken to anyone yet, so this is all just thinking out loud. But I think Backbone would be keen to do it. Obviously, Hadi will be available as well. I was thinking Crispy as well. If you've been watching my streams for a while, maybe if you watched Esports World Cup last year, Crispy came on for a bit. For the Hangzhou Major, Crispy was on for bits of it as well. And I think people normally enjoy all of them, really, when those guys are on. So maybe we could get some kind of Crispy backers type desk, Hadi as well, if he wants to. And then me and Untercast. I feel like that would be that'd be pretty hard.
لكن يقدر يسوي كونتست لان البوينت خلاص على الاوفر تايم سلو دايف ياخذ بيك رهيب على
اللي قدروا ياخذون البوينت الاول مصلحتهم.
Can I build a studio as well?
صراحه الماب هذا او البوينت هذا يعني اداء صراحه جبار.
Get Kai in as well. You get Kai in. There's always room for Kai. I have high views when I watch Saudi eLeague. Yeah, I mean, good teams playing, right? Good games. High quality games. If anyone sort of stumbled across this as well, doesn't know too much about Saudi eLeague, they do need. I think there's 4 of these tournaments across the year. This is the second one we're in now, and normally once we get to playoffs, it's all these same sort of teams, you know, Vision, TM, Qadsiah, so we get like a pretty high quality playoffs every time. We're having, this is our last game today. Obviously there's the lower bracket happening at the same time, but our last slot of games. But it's the lower bracket final and grand final tomorrow around a similar time. So if you enjoy watching these games, there's gonna be more of them as well. Yeah, Prashi is playing for Bright Future, who are honestly, you know, they get into playoffs was probably the win for Bright Future. They're sort of big underdogs compared to, well, obviously to TM and Alcad, and of course even Team Vision. Who's the best player? It's probably Takuno. I think Takuno is a player who's been hovering around this sort of top of Faceit, bottom of OWCS for a while. I think very competent flex support. Kiriko probably his best hero. SXJ is a player who actually, I've only seen like little bits of him, but he does impress when he plays.
البوزيشن حق أمدى بالصراحة فرق جدا في البوينت الأولى، وطبعا ما زلنا مستمرين وما زلنا نشوف ايش ممكن يصير معانا في فاتح حاله، خصوصا انه خلاص.
Like Poro plays I've seen bits of before. Seems like a solid enough tank. But NBHD, the hit scan player, really unfamiliar with them.
كبير جدا وبايلوت بيلت متولى روح يقدر يخلص فيها على بكان، يا ساتر يا بايلوت. تقريبا خلاص الامور انحسمت بشكل جدا كبير لصالح تيم فيجن. حرفيا تيم فيجن مسيطر بالطول والعرض، قدر انه يسيطر على البوينت الاولى والبوينت الثانيه بافضل طريقه حرفيا.
Does Vision make it through eLeague to see him in... Yeah, so it's not called eLeague, but there was another tournament called the Saudi ESL Challenge, where Vision finished first, but TM and Qadsiah finished above them. And the winner of the Saudi ESL thing qualifies for the last chance qualifier. But obviously, because Qadsiah and TM, who finished above Vision, have gone straight to the Esports World Cup, they don't need to go to the last chance qualifier. Which means Vision the slot gets passed down, basically. So Vision Esports are invited to the last chance qualifier. Obviously, they have to make their own way there in terms of flying their players there, getting their players there. But I think Vision, I very much expect Vision to attend. So there is a very good chance we will be seeing Violet take on Zeta Division at some point during the last chance qualifier.
مباراة القمة الوينرز فاينلز اللي يجمع تويستد مايندز من امام القادسية. تويستد مايندز قاعد يعاني من امام القادسية.
Sounds like we might be coming back to the main one there. So I was sort of only half watching that one. What's a cheeky Violet play of the game? Oh, we can't. I tricked you. They tricked me, and I tricked you by extension. LCQ is going to be broadcast, yeah. Yeah, anyone can join LCQ, or you can at least you can request an invite, basically. I don't know exactly how they're going to go. Obviously, some teams have been directly invited to the LCQ based on their OWCS finishes or by winning something like the ESL Saudi Challenge. So the teams who have been invited, they're guaranteed a spot. I don't know exactly how it works for the other teams who are applying, who are just like paying for their own way, essentially. I don't know how it exactly works for them. Score check, 2-0 for Alcad. The first map, absolute dogfight. Second map, very comfortable for Qadsiah.
اي على طول يبشون على طول يصير لها يتوتر يفكه. احنا شفنا بويسس مرتين ترى سواها انا اذكرها لحد الان سواها مرتين حتى مع من تاون في مره بيتوه بس بون فكتوني.
There's a lot of money. Yeah, I mean I think the problem for a lot of teams is because Falcons and Zeta Division are in the last chance qualifier, then It's really hard to win, right? It's really, because only one team, the actual winner of the last chance qualifier gets to go to the Esports World Cup. So yeah, really hard to justify the visit, because even though there's prize money on the line for the last, I think it's like, is it $5 grand, $5.5 grand, even if you come 16th? I think for a lot of the international teams that have to fly their entire 5 players and hotels and all of that, you wouldn't break even. Yeah, like I think it's $5.5 grand dollars, I think it is, for 16th spot. Do we know which other teams are heading out now? No. Everything is sort of just off expectations right now. I don't think there's been any sort of official we will be going type thing. But Falcon, Zeta, and Team Vision are the 3 most likely that we know of.
الباندات لا والله ما شفناها. اي الباندات تطلع الباندات تطلع لكم يا اخوان قبل لا يبدا اساسا الماب. توقعاتك. Yeah, so obviously for some teams, like say a team like Vision, who have a bunch of Saudi players already, it means travel costs and expenses much less than say a team like SSG, who would have to fly their players from a combination of America and Korea to get there. Alright, Runa Sapi, Genji banned from Twisted Minds as they continue to protect DPS, so they can protect the sim. Winston ban from Qadsiah, which maybe seems like a hot take a short while ago against Twisted Minds, but after they pulled out the Winston into the sim May, now I imagine they feel like they can just play that sim May with a little bit less trouble. Though, now, even though Winston is banned, Twisted Minds could just go Ramatra as well. If you remember in the grand final, literally a few days ago, we were in a very similar situation, and Twisted Minds had TVNT in, but just played Ramatra. So honestly, I wouldn't even be surprised if TVNT starts for Ram here. Anticipating a May sim from Qadsiah. So we'll see how it goes. But don't expect more sims. Expect probably Kiri Lucio from both teams as well. Twisted Minds, of course, fighting to make the first step of a reverse sweep. No pressure then. No surprises from Twisted Minds, it feels like. Just Sojin, Kiri Lucio, Sim, and D.Va. Well, maybe the D.Va's a little bit of a surprise. Eyes on TVNT when he gets his first opportunity to swap, if he just goes to Ramatra, like he did a few days ago in the finals. No, Makanda, no. Qadsiah, though, look at this comp. Really has become their bread and butter. Mirrored comps on the rollout. Now, we often see D.Vas playing very aggressive with the Sim D.Va style, but in a mirror, expect the D.Vas to be a little bit more brawly. The main focus is going to be the DPS for them always. Shut down the Sojin, or find a way to trade for Symmetra. Obviously, the Symmetra trade is scarier, because if you don't get the kill, the Symmetra will get all the beam off you, and then will just demech you. So slow and steady. Both teams going to play mostly through their hit scans. TP is out. Just defensive though. Now they force the TP, a more aggressive one from Twisted Minds, but they don't get too much off it. Cleanse has been forced out of Psycho. TVNT is going to drop on point, and here comes the beam from Checkmate. TVNT on the back foot here. Tries to reset, but they have HP advantage and control of the payload. They're going to TP to flip, but it's Landon who finds the dink. Now coming back round full pocket onto Lubda to deal with that attempted trade from TVNT. They've done with that. Looks like they might be clean with this one. Qadsiah, no trades at all. Maybe even a bit of a stagger here onto Quartz. Pop in the face to finish the job, and Qadsiah really carrying on as they have been after their Midtown success. Astro's going to have a slightly quicker beat. Lander's going to have the slightly quicker Kitsune as we come into the first set of ults in this next fight. And Qadsiah are starting forward, making TM work and clear them to get all the space. You see Qadsiah doing this quite a lot. They will start far forward, but they'll drop this Sim TP early, which means they can get all this early ult farm, then TP back. But Twisted Minds trying to capitalize. Beat push from Astro as well. Haku doesn't have it yet. Landon trying to get the Kitsune rush out in time, but Quartz finds the shot first. Now they respond. Quartz is separated. Trades back and forth. Haku will not be
probably get into this beat, and Twisted Mind's decisive. So, let's come back to that a little bit here, as obviously a few different things happen, but basically, every time Qadsiah win a fight and have early possession, they will walk up to the enemy, shoot early, farm their ults, try and force some cooldowns. They'll put an early TP back to go to where they actually want to take the fight, and the idea of this is, you get to farm forward, you get your good position, your safe position back as well, but you use the TP quite early, so you get the TP back not long into the next fight. But Twisted Mind's trying a really aggressive tempo to actually interrupt that and exploit it. Now the Kitsune Russian symbol trade comes in. Beam up for Yugi. Checkmate has TP behind it. He's killed Psycho with it here. Checkmate with the play. Now it's going to take the source of healing, the cleanse all away. That makes Yubi an easy kill. And now Qadsiah in control. Just have to avoid all the trades, and they have successfully done that as well. Another good fight from Qadsiah. This will be checkpoint for sure, and they can even push a little bit more as well. Now swinging back around the corner. Overclock from Lubda. Trying to find something, just pressure, forces for D-Mech. Can they kill the baby? Symbol to save for baby so TVNT can remech. Now they're with that, but Haku has B advantage, ready to go. Astro isn't far behind, but they've stolen the robot, actually. The robot's walking away. B comes through, so Ziad can try and close the distance, but they need kills. They find one into the backline. Self-destruct is out. The beat push, good in the end. It looked like they were going to be stuck chasing there. Like they wouldn't be able to close the distance, but they do manage to. Important kills coming through. Ziad had to use for self-destruct as well because he was so low when that beat came in. And that will finally be checkpoint. TM squeeze an extra fight out of it. There was a world there where TM has stolen the robot and Astro gets to the beat as well. And then that fight goes really well for Twisted Minds. But this isn't the worst given the situation. Now they come back with Overclock of their own. They can start with Overclock here, maybe even force a Kitsune Rush out of Landa, maybe even get a kill before he gets it if they want. Quartz is swinging in now. Cleanse has been forced. Beat comes through. They try and flood forward. TP to chase for kills. Now they demeg Ziad. That'll be an important one. This allows TVNT to clean everything up as well. One ult used. One fight won. Twisted Minds taking the cart back onto the opponent's side. Kitsune Rush coming back for Landon. Quartz will have the overclock. Expect this very much to be an even trade of ults. Checkmate Symbol will be the difference maker. Choices now for Qadsiah. Normally the Symbol is a better response to the overclock than the Kitsune Rush. So if they have the Symbol in time, expect Qadsiah to start with that one. For now, though, they're trying to start a bit of an early fight, so Quartz can pop it. They're all kind of grouped up in there. Rail comes out. Kitsune Rush first. They're going to get to the TP. Disengage is good. TVNT's going to get through there as well. Good disengage on the overclock. The perfect shot from Quartz. Kills Checkmate seconds before the wall comes through. Now Quartz will regroup with his team. They can wait out this Symbol. Landon is still trying to push him, but the Symbol is about to fade. And Qadsiah, they have to back out of there, but Landon cannot get out. Twisted Minds, whenever they need something, when they need a play. Oh, so reliable is Quartz. They push forward. They're threatening checkpoint. They're looking for a late kill here as well, but I don't think TVNC will be able to find any. Kitsune Rush actually came out there. They tried so hard. I don't know about a Kitsune Rush. Ends up being a wasted Kitsune Rush. They're going to TP to try and deny the cap right now. 1 meter. No, they don't go before. They don't go before it now, and Twisted Minds still threatening it, trying to get back in control. Oh, no, I think they do. No, I think it has gone through. Sorry. Lubda now with the overclock ready to go if he wants it. Going to use it. Yubi doesn't have the Symbol yet. The self-destruct is out. TVNT desperate to get back into Meg, but Lubda connects the shot. No escape for Astro either. And as that trade comes through, Lubda will be cleaning everything up. Double slide back to his team. Desperate not to get traded. Landon is looking. Sorry. Psycho was looking for it, but going to be juked out by Lubda. They've already started moving the payload when it happened as well. And a good overclock, just short of the ults they needed, Twisted Minds. And now it's going to be Twisted Minds retake him with a Symbol. Haku has the B and Landon nearly a Kitsune Rush. So Qadsiah, they can play to disengage it if they want, but their ults really aren't that bad to fight into it. They can drop this B, even try and kill Yubi through the Symbol. Lubda's going to catch an early rail. Astro's getting very close to his own beat. TP down from Yubi, who TP's backwards. Beat push comes in. Symbol. It's quite far forward from Yubi. All of Qadsiah are past it. It's a bad wall, but the beat is out in response from Astro. Doesn't catch Yubi, though. The pocket is coming through. Yubi's now safe behind the Symbol. Chases the backline away. Twisted Minds will regain control of the robot. Try and pivot it around. Yubi has to be careful, though. Needs a TP out of there. Pressure onto him. Yubi TP's away. Pocket is good onto him. He stabilizes, regroups, but no, the disruptor shot still finds the kill. TVNT is looking for one of the back, but he can't. And Qadsiah, they get it. I thought Yubi had got himself out of dodge with that first TP, but Qadsiah didn't give up the chase. And now Qadsiah, serious meters on the board. Kitsune Rush, Symbol, Bomb, all ready to go. Worth noting that it was only a 1-for-1 ult trade versus... a 1-for-2 ult trade there for Qadsiah. So really well handled situation. Gives him a big ult bank for this final fight, or potential final fight. But Quartz! Every time they need to get out of jail, every time they need something, Quartz steps up. And now Qadsiah, I'm not sure if they're going to be willing to invest here. Actually, no, Ziad wants to bomb. Gonna go for the remake. UB walks out. He takes for some remake damage. He doesn't die though. TVNT's gonna get demech, but so does Ziad. Kitsune Rush from Landa, not enough to save him. Lubda and UB gonna kill each other's babies. Overclock now from Lubda to try and finish the job. Over it, TP away from UB, trying to find the shot. TP back in. UB is dancing behind the robot. Quartz have responded with his own overclock, but there's a symbol back. Quartz can't get much more value. He has to wait for the symbol. Haku's considering chasing it. Lubda's gonna slide in. He takes the kill. Still flooding in here. Twisted Minds. They have a Kitsune Rush to keep fighting. They need their spawns coming back. Lubda's going to kill... Now, Lubda kill him to Quartz for TP in. More pocket coming through. Astro's been booted. He gets taken down before beat. Sim turrets are trying to fry Lubda, and they are contained at the choke. And Qadsiah, they're just going to stop the chaos. They're going to take a breath and reset out the corner. Now looking for more opportunity. Kitsune Rush out. Haku's beat catches everyone as they push back into it. Symbol over the top from UB. Qadsiah, nothing left in the bank here. Ult advantage, but Quartz is under a lot of pressure. Look how deep Lubda is going for it. But Quartz has the help from Astro and will be fine. Player advantage now. And Twisted Minds can find a chance to stabilize, avoid any trades as Landon with the final push in here. Astro has beat coming back now. Beat advantage, importantly. Twisted Minds need clean fights here. They need to close this. We're into the final minute and a half. Qadsiah want to take a fight early on here. Squeeze the all they can out. They are at beat disadvantage now. TVNT's going to fly in first onto the high ground. Psycho kills checkmate though. UB's going to get traded. Astro's trying not to use the beat here. He desperately wants to milk it. Desperately wants to save it for the next fight, but he is going to have to use it in the end. TVNT doesn't get the beat. The other three members do, but can they find kills with it? Qadsiah are kind of just kiting this one out. Worst case scenario for Twisted Minds. They have to use the beat, but they don't get any kills. Now Kitsune Rush coming on point. They have to try and kite it a little bit. Onto the high ground. Backing it up. Kitsune Rush has been used from Landon, but they're not getting full value out of it. They can just steal the robot. Twisted Minds are going to choose to just leave the fight, kite out the ult to equalize the ult advantage, and come back and fight on middle. Now they're going to meet up with the robot again. TVNT and Ziad both with bombs, but checkmate closer to the symbol here. Landon finds the important kill onto UB. Flooding through. TVNT stuck on the back line. Bomb is available. He drops it, but he's so desperate for Meg. Psycho, the baby from TVNT. They found a couple of kills. TVNT's back in Meg. Psycho's in big trouble now, but TVNT is still trying to find value. Bomb from Ziad is out. Psycho running for his life right now. Ziad, can he find the kill? Boops him out. One more TP away, and it's actually Haku who gets caught in the melee. Twisted Minds are clutching, clawing their way back into this. Psycho has Kitsune Rush for this next fight. UB nearly has a symbol to match checkmates, and there's a battle of overclocks as well. Into overtime. Twisted Minds' last chance. They need 50+ meters to equalize this. Lubda's going to start with the overclock, as does Quartz. TP's around. Symbol comes through. UB still needs 2%. Needs it desperately. Kitsune Rush in the meantime. Symbol over the top. Ult advantage for a second for them. They need kills though. D-Mech onto Ziad. They need to deal with this Sim. Checkmate still TPing around. They deal with the baby. Now coming through. Disruptor shot. They have to be careful. They can't get it off the payload. They need no trades. Twisted Minds have no trades, and they have beat advantage. Twisted Minds are far from out of this yet. They need kills with this beat push to stay in the series, to win the map. Beat advantage for Astro. All comes down to this. Has to get off. Lubda is going to go May. They're clearing the turrets as they come back out. Qadsiah. It is one fight territory. All they need is a successful beat push. They have all eyes on Astro. Beat comes through early. They're pushing forward. Lubda's going to kite to the side. They need kills. Haku is 1 HP. Quartz forces the ice block. They need to kill though. TP comes back in. Kitsune Rush back. No kills with a beat push. Landon has an ult. They need more. TVNT still has bomb. Lubda's there. The boot onto UB separates him. him. Both Sims are going to fall. TVNT has to stay on point. Ice Block forced again by Lubza. Twisted Minds, they need this kill, but Landon, he's pushing. He's killed for backline. TVNT is still on point. He has bomb. Quartz is there as well. Quartz finds one kill, so does TVNT. Twisted Minds, they're trying to clutch it. Ziad is low, but bomb is out. TVNT needs to get this remake. Goes for it, gets for remake. TVNT in a 1v2. He needs to buy time. UB's coming back. TP as quickly as he can, but it's not quick enough. Qadsiah will hold on. And they 3-0 Twisted Minds in this upper bracket.
من زياد وزع على جماهير القادسية بعد الأداء الخيالي والوصول إلى الجراند فاينلز من الباب الكبير من الانتصار على تويستد مايندز.
And honestly, for big, I mean, Twisted Minds were getting right back into that. It was those the last two beats from Astro. I don't think they were necessarily Astros. It's not like, I think the last beat, the one we saw at the start of that final fight, I think that beat was fine. Like, they beat kind of early, safety first, blah, blah, blah. They just need to find a kill. If they can't find a kill on that timing, the whole fight looks completely different. As we saw, you know, really tough one to win. Fist bumps, hand slaps, respect all round. As Qadsiah progressed to the grand final. Hey, you're welcome, Sean Telly. I'll be live tomorrow as well for the conclusion of this tournament. And then the beat before last, you know, the one where Twisted Minds were coming around towards the checkpoint, and it was a fight on middle. They started taking the cart back to a checkpoint, and it looked like Astro was trying to avoid using the beat because it was the only ult in play. And then he's sort of indecision. Do I use it? Do I have to? Do I not have to? Eventually, he does have to, but TM don't really have the cooldowns and everything to find value with it. So it's just no value on his last two beat pushes. Ultimately, what stopped that Twisted Minds comeback. But obviously, you have to credit the fact that they had such a substantial lead to work with already. Is the meta better to Alcad, or are they just better than TM now? I know, I think this meta should feel really fine for Twisted Minds. I think Ziad is just the best diva, probably in the world, right? I know we don't have all the top diva players, Korea, you know, aren't really playing diva, etc. But I think Ziad is way ahead of everyone. Whoa! Thank you, Kran. Welcome, everyone. Thank you, Kran. I hope you had a good stream. Unfortunately, Kran, it's just finished. Wait, we got a bit of B stream. I can get you some B stream action here. I get you some B stream. Yeah, we'll get you some B stream action. For everyone who's just joining, I'll give you the little TLDR. We're in the midst of the Saudi eLeague playoffs, or the second major. So, where we are right now is we've just witnessed the upper bracket final where Qadsiah had two close maps, one roll, but a relatively convincing, all things considered, upper bracket final, and got their place in the grand final tomorrow. Twisted Minds down to the lower bracket, and Twisted Minds will play the winner of Team Vision against Bright Future tomorrow. Obviously, right now, Team Vision are 2 maps up, as we'd expect. They're heavy favourites. If you don't know about Bright Future, it's probably quite reasonable. But it's Prash and Takuno, players you might be familiar with, maybe SXJ as well. And Poro Players is maybe a name you've seen around as well. MBHD, relatively new to me, but they're now going to map 3. So we'll check that out before we go. But welcome, everyone. If you want to watch any of this tournament, obviously the VOD's on my channel, the VOD's on my YouTube live stream as well, if that's better for you. And I'll get the VODs onto my VOD's channel as well if you've missed any of it. And remember, similar time tomorrow, starting 2 BST, we will have that lower bracket into the grand final. Grand final is best of 7, of course. So, lots of good stuff. Alright, we're going to get a little be right back here. But yeah, sorry, I feel like somebody asked a question and I missed it somewhere. Bum, 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 bum. Is this only streamed on Twitch? No, it's on YouTube, and I imagine I think it's on Kick as well. But yeah, Carpo Edits asks a really good question, which is, because I was actually thinking about this I was thinking about doing a video about this. Mainly about the divas from the grand final, because we saw Ziad play all the time. Sorry, the question is, what does Ziad do differently than everyone else? Why is he so much better, right? What does Ziad do differently? It's a really valid question. I don't know. I don't have the best answer for you, other than he just seems a little bit better at everything, right? Like, all of these, his ability to get kills seems to be higher than everyone else. Like, his one-shots seem so much higher. He doesn't die in these situations. He seems to have a great idea of his limit in terms of where the rest of his team is, how aggressive he can be when he needs to be. Like, if you look at another player who is also very good at Diva, but maybe struggles with parts of this, someone like KSA. I think KSA is great at getting kills. But sometimes what KSA has, I think, is not the same... I'm going to say almost field of vision as Ziad, in terms of awareness of how aggressive he can be in situations. KSA feels like a very much a frag-heavy player, you know? He sees the kill, maybe tunnel visions it too much in times. Whereas I feel like Ziad manages to find the balance much better than everyone else. And some of that, I guess, like the catch-all term for something like this is game sense, right? But I think the biggest thing, you ask any of the players who play against Ziad, or any of the teams out scrimming regularly, and it's just he always hits these bloody one-shots. So, in many ways, mechanical, I guess you would put under the category of. But a little bit of everything. But I did want to look at it closer, because I was thinking of doing a video where basically I look at the 3 divas we saw in the grand final. Like, Ziad, who obviously played diva predominantly throughout the series, and then obviously KSA, and then what went differently for Twisted Minds when they brought TVNT in. Like, why did TVNT coming in create a closer matchup? What was going wrong for KSA? What was Ziad doing that ultimately led to him beating both of these, well, before this season, much more established diva players? Maybe confirmation bias, but I feel like Ziad does fake boosters more than other people. Yeah, so you basically, because there's like 2 things you do on the diva, right? So let's say the other team's holding here. The yellow team, where's my pen? Yellow is going to be the diva, and there's like something you do here as the diva where you either take a TP or you fly into the backline, pressure onto the Kiri, the Lucio, or the Juno Kiri, whatever supports they have, right? Threaten the backline, and then what you get to do is this really annoying thing where if you're TM in these situations, quite often it'd be KSA just trying to ram and hold it, while they all try and turn Ziad. And then obviously Ziad's job is play life. But it seems to be, there's also a few times here where Ziad will mix it up, and rather than just try going backline, he'll sort of threaten that, and then he'll just hit the Symmetra instead, you know? And then what this creates for the backline of TM or whoever has the misfortune of playing into Ziad is their Kiri, Lucio, or whatever heroes are in a situation where the first few fights or the first couple of times, they're getting hit really hard, and now they're super worried about their life, maybe just playing slightly safer positions. But then all of a sudden, because he 180s, he hits Yubi. And then you were worried about your own life, but it was actually Yubi you needed to pocket, right? And it becomes this almost sort of mini mind game in these very chaotic situations where there's sim TPs and everyone's moving around and everything like this, where you've got to be aware of so many things, and it's really, really asking a lot of the Kiri Lucio. I mean, it's asking a lot of all the players in this type of matchup, but the Kiri Lucio are the ones who have like this difficult decision making to make. And yeah, it feels like Ziad is a bit harder to read in those situations. And it feels like Ziad also does a really good job of, if he goes aggressive and he realizes, 5 people are just turning on me, he just lives, right? He just finds that way to live or get away with it. Likewise, if he realizes, oh, they're not really looking at me, he realizes when he can sort of take the piss, basically. It's crazy. Thank you for the first time. It's crazy how much better the top divas like Ziad and Kran are than everyone else. It really slipped him in there, didn't you? But yeah. Why is Unter not co-streaming? Because he's in the sky. No, he's not passed away. He is just on a plane. He's flying back to Australia today, or he's already yesterday, or however the time zones work. He's on it. He's in the sky in some form. Same with Chrissy. Otherwise they would be there as well. Thank you, Sarah Lee. Hard agree. No, Logan is asking. YouTube chat, this is our last match today, the tail end of this B stream. And then these 2 games are going to be tomorrow, starting at 2:20 BST. So that's about 4 hours, 10 minutes ago for whatever time zone you're in. No, Chris is flying to Italy. You didn't have to specify he wasn't deceased, because we all know he wasn't going to the sky. Even the UK? No, Chris has left voluntarily. He's going to, what was it, Florence? Are you going to join LCQ, or are they gonna... No, they're gonna give Falcons and Zeta a chance, right? Very humble of TU. All the winnings, exactly. Is it true that TU actually paid their players too much money? No, they didn't know what to do with it. Yeah. One of the biggest things, and because a lot of TU's problems were identified as communication issues. But actually, the problem was they'd been paid so much money that they couldn't see their screen properly because the money was just piled up everywhere. So there was a load of money in the way of their screen. So obviously, as you can imagine, really hard to play Overwatch. It's just a pile of money in the way. And this was what really held TU back in terms of forming that level of cohesion a lot of people were hoping for from them. I've heard Qadsiah's turn to cooking meth in a trailer with a bold friend to pay TU salaries. Any comment? Yes, me and Chris are up to no good. Unfortunately, neither of us drive, so the trailer's just outside his house, so it's not the most discreet operation. But we'll just, we'll just keep it on the low. Why a map certainly me? I don't know actually, because the TM versus Vision series. I don't think it's all maps, to be fair. We get plenty of nail biters as well, but it was a little bit weird in the TM versus Vision series where the first map was a dogfight, and then we have 4 maps that are all really one-sided but going in different ways. Even though we're not playing drastically different comps in a lot of the situations either. But I mean, you ask anyone who, if you watch a lot of sports or you watch a lot of esports, the power of momentum cannot be underrated. Both ancient, how do we go not add drive? Just not needed to. Just, the UK is not that big a place. Nottingham especially is a very walkable city. And don't even get Chris started. Unless you have a spare half hour, don't even get Chris started on the Metro. Because that guy loves the bloody Metro. Does TM look beatable? Yeah. Chris's Pro Trains? Yeah. Pro Trains, Pro Metro. Need to bring horses back? Oh! Look who it is. It's for Boss. Thank you, Space Station, for the tier 1. Appreciate it. Oh, hope you guys are good. Well, hope you guys have recovered from the setback.
هلا والله أعزائي المشاهدين بعد البريك
Ooh, alright, we're back on caster, so I think the action is starting soon.
الماب الثالث هل بيكون ماب التأهل لصالح فريق فيجن أو ماب العودة لصالح فريق برايت فيوتشر وتجديد الأمل؟
Is that how SSG is paying me in subs? Yes. We will regain. It's alright. Have you heard of a concept of slingshots?
خصم صعب يعني للأمانة، لكن برايت فيوتشر شفنا منهم يعني لعب صراحة كويس، أداء كويس، لكن
of course
هذا يعدلون، إذا عدلوها أتوقع يمديهم.
It's not a trap. You see, the thing is, if you attempt to invent something like a slingshot or anything, right? The first iteration isn't going to be the perfect one. It's just for prototype. All you got to do, you got to keep iterating on it. Iterate on it. Pull it back further. Figure out the best tension.
طبعا ذكر المابات نتكلم عن ماب نيو جنك سيتي من اختيار برايت فيوتشر.
Or is it even a theory at this point? Yeah, I mean, we're still ironing out the kinks in it, but I think we're just a few iterations from the perfect slingshot being available. If TU drop everyone, I think it's more likely the other way. Well, I think because the players will keep the slot. Like, because the roster owns the slot, not the org. So I reckon it goes the other way. Where it's maybe just a few changes to the roster. And hopefully someone else comes in from him. But, I mean, that's all a long way off being decided, right? We'll get another roster mania before stage 3 and everything like that. Come home to EMEA. There's a team to be put together there. Wait, hold on. Did they show bans? I wasn't paying attention. New Junk City, the map. Tracer ban from Bright Future. Didn't see the other ban though. We'll wait and see what Vision's ban is. Who's Vision chomping on? This is a Bright Future. It's Poro Plays, SXJ, Takuno, and Captain Prash, and MBHD is their hit scan. They were sort of the best of the rest of I can show you the other teams that didn't make it quite this far, who got eliminated at the regular season. These are some of the rosters we were working with. So quite a few like Face It players, Face It Masters players in the mix here. Majin, obviously, and Zorro people will be familiar with. King, people remember King, surely, right? Eggs, people remember. Riker, Gucci. A fair few familiar names. Ostrich as well, the ball guy, if you remember. Yes, exactly that. Ayua. 3, I believe, is the minimum. You keep 3 players, you keep the spot. Since Haki won 3-0 and Kellex won 4-2, can we conclude that Haki greater than Kellex? The logic holds good. Please let me go all in on Team Vision winning. Oh wait, that's the wrong one. Where have I gone? Yeah, we can do it. Let's see. Oh wait, did I not cash for Preds from a previous one? Sorry guys. I feel like that is somewhat on me. And then I'll get you some Preds going for this map 3 between Bright Future and Team Vision. Team Vision obviously set themselves up. Team Vision obviously set themselves up for a rematch. When will they start playing? Hopefully any minute now. Barbie Girl also asked why is Simple not playing. Exclamation mark Simple if you're in Twitch chat. If you are like Barbie Girl in YouTube chat though. Basically he was eligible for this competition. Saudi eLeague has a rule where if you competed for a different team in stage 1, you're not allowed to compete in stage 2. I guess it's like an anti-compete rule. Don't agree with it personally, but unfortunately that is the situation. So no simple Psycho will be playing Flex Support Forum for this whole tournament.
ديفيجن فريق قبل سنة ما كان ذاك الفريق يعني اللي أداءه خلينا نقول أفضل شيء، بس اشتغل على نفسه. نهاية المجر راح فاز على تويستد، شوف الحين قاعد ينافس مباراته ضد تويستد مايند 3-2.
The commentators flaming Bright Future for not using their bans well. Oh yeah.
يعني برايت فيوتشر وراكم مشوار، توكم في البداية، وراكم مشوار طويل. ف يعني حتى
Do you think TVNT is the best tank in EMEA right now? Best regards, thanks Thomas Wilson. No. It's Ziad for sure. Ziad for sure. Kerex wasn't available, so he's not flown out. So Haku is going to be playing the whole thing as well. Thanks, Steggy. I do glance up occasionally. If you ever see me looking up, that's where my YouTube chat is. So if I'm looking in that direction, I'm looking at you, YouTube. Does the Saudi League have a minimum number of players? Yeah, two is the minimum.
وكل الناس متوقعين اصلا انهم خلاص انهم بياخذون ميجر ثاني ويبنون
Yeah, I didn't know the football teams have a limit as well. Is that true? Is it for the squad or the starting lineup? What's it called? Saudi Pro League? Saudi Pro League. Minimum Saudi players. In Saudi Pro League, each club is required to have a minimum of 15 Saudi players in their squad of 25 players. Oh, okay. Interesting.
الصراحة فعلا نتيجة جدا قوية لصالح فريق توست ماينز، ولكن لا نستبقى الأحداث.
Thanks for stopping in, Tom.
ويهزمهم، ولكن لسه ما في شيء واضح قدامه.
Two of the foreign players must be under 21 years at time of signing. Okay.
وعلى ذكرى ندخل الماب ونفتتح.
So you can have 10 foreign players, but 2 of them have to be under 21 when you sign them. Okay. Interesting. I didn't know that actually.
صراحة كنت متوقع عن طريق برو بليز، توقعت انه امدا بيروح ديفا.
But we are going in New Junk City. Oh, they're increasing it very slowly, as in increasing the number of foreign players. Isn't that a common thing in football? No, I'm pretty sure there's no minimum. Oh no, there is a minimum Premier League. Is there 8 in the Premier League? I want to say 8, and then there's certain rules, as in 8 English players, and there's certain rules as like. They call it like trained at club and trained in nation in the UK, so there's slightly different classifications. Yeah, they're homegrown, that's the word. Thank you, Nuki. So you don't necessarily have to be English, but you have to have come through the academy. Yeah. Anyway, let's lock in, because it's the last, well, potentially last map of the day. Wait, did I not do the Preds? I'll give you 30 second Preds, okay? 30 second Preds out of respect. So you have to be so quick. So quick. Only the quickest. There we go. And Bright Future, they've traded Violet a chance for a retake. Rams meeting on point now. Choi's going to fall as well too for Techers, and that's an opening for him. Horoplays is going to put the counter form on point. Captain Prash playing around with that one, but they are slowly but surely forcing them out of that. Violet's going to come back, start harassing Tekuno. But Bright Future are good for the retake. Not enough to convince more than 2% of people to believe in a brighter future though. 3% of people are believing in a brighter future. Optimism is on the rise, but MBHD is in the respawn queue. And AMDP is going to crush them here, and that's a free retake. Regroup now, support ults in play for Team Vision, as well for Bright Future, but as we often talk about, the Kitsune Rush does outvalue the window in a lot of situations. Simwall's going to be coming up as well, but they're going to have to wait for SXJ before they retake. Going to get a quick pause. Alright. I guess I could have given you guys longer Preds.
امدب وفايلت صراحه يعني كومبو خرافي للامانه. شوف في باوز.
It's the TM game next. So the TM game has already happened. This is the last game of the day. We're going to have the winner of this game versus Twisted Minds tomorrow, and then we're going to have the grand final after that as well.
خلاص يعني رام لما يجيك رماترا مع لوسيو يعني كومبو جدا جدا قوي.
If there's still a sim meta for the Esports World Cup, do you think EMA will be able to punch above their typical weight? Yes, is the short answer. I think we often talk about push-pull metas being good for EMEA. We're going to be on pause, so I'll give you a short answer. But I think even though we've seen Korea beat or win push-pull metas against EMEA, I think the sim is a different kettle of fish. The beat's going to be used by Prash and Violet here, traded on the low ground as they come through. What are you guys copy and pasting? Hope it's nice. High noon now. Kitsune Russian Simwall comes out in trade as well. Holding this one, but Team Vision can wait for their support ult swing. Choi nearly has the wall, but they go before the ults. Slow dive dies on the TP. Horo plays has the slow ready for that one. And that is a poor TP choice from Choi, who's then going to kill two and invest for Simwall. Choi. TP's right into a slow waste. He's Simwall. This is actually a disaster fight, and Bright Future now in a great position to take this first point. Controlling the choke, Annihilation ready to go. Slow Dive does have the overclock. They're trying to come through underneath. AMTP has to pop that form early. Poro plays with form advantage. He's looking for the backline though. Poro plays needs help. Violet tries to come and help AMTP, but he dies. And they are just ignoring this ram, killing everyone else. 2-player advantage. Now they're going to come get AMTP. And that will be first point for Bright Future. What are you guys saying? Dearest Commander X, much has been said about your nationality and apparent and most regrettable lack of hair follicles. I write this letter to inform you that I personally will not hold these factors against you, and my ill will towards you is based on an entirely other factors. Best wishes. Thank you, Mrs. Ramatra. I'm glad you are not judging me by my appearance or the parts that I can't control. Instead, you hate me just for my personality. Thank you very much. Alright, Team Vision now trying to fight their way back from being a round down. Overclock to start from Slow Dive, sliding in here. High Noon in response. AMTP gets 2 with that! Oh my god, the window High Noon deletes them! They popped the Annihilation as well, which is bad for the economy, but it gives them the first fight here. So we've seen pretty wasteful ults coming out from both teams already. Bright Future do get the first flip as a result. Now they have the beat and nearly a Simwall, but Choi's going to have Simwall at the same rate. Team Vision will come up to a pretty healthy bank of ultimates. Bright Future need to do something clever here. They either need to disengage some ults, try and bleed them out of Vision, or they need to find an early kill. So it really it's a difference between super slow or hyper aggressive. Pressure onto it as well, all over Violet, trying to force that one with the beat push, and they crush him! They choose explosiveness, and they delete them! AMTP is sent flying off the map. And that was a Kitsune rush for a beat. That is 1 for 1, and that is a great fight for Bright Future. Now they have a Simwall, and they're still at a significant ult disadvantage, so it might be more of the same. Vision have to be careful here, but a pick onto Kuno. I mean, now Bright Future have no choice. I think they just have to crash out on the backline here. TP flip vote from Vision to force the point. They delete the TP as well. They might get the flip for free. Yeah, Bright Future. A free retake. Thank God Chris is in the air on aeroplane mode, so he doesn't have to see or witness or even hear about this, because he'll be fuming. Vision Esports now have these free ults to try and get themselves back in control of this point E. Retake comes through, Simwall available for SXJ, form into the back, all over this Lucio. Captain Brash takes a big punch in the face and he'll be deleted. And that's going to be another quick fight. Playing for a trade, but AMTP, his hands are up. Takuno comes back. He's going to die late here. Trying to dash out of this one, the chase is very much on. Violet with the boop in. Doesn't have a lamp to get him out of that, and that'll be a late stagger. And actually, Team Vision are trying to capitalise. They're going to look for more. They do get one as well. Ah, this is a mistake from Bright Future. The spawn is there, but I think... Is that Captain Prash who is on the run? Captain Prash is on the run over on point D, I think it is. Off our screens right now, but I don't think they can catch him. Prash slippery enough for now. And now they have a retake Bright Future. Ult situation looking a bit more reasonable. TP back to point to keep the space. Lamp has been forced. Violet's dropped the beat and all of that. Prash is going to die going for the touch. He doesn't make it either. The fight wasn't going that poorly in the front line. They even actually clean him up, but the touch is no good. And that's going to be Team Vision tying us up 1-1. That free retake is going to be so costly. So costly. Symbols for both teams now, annihilation advantages for Poro, and Window to start it off with here. So, pretty even ult situation, honestly. The Window doesn't have as much swing factor. The Kitsune Rush might be the bigger difference maker. And one, again, an opening pick out of nothing. No, he didn't Ajax. It came off. It came off. It wasn't a great beat, but ended up getting the job done. Lamp has been forced out early, means we're not going to take the TP. This window's quite shallow as well, so Vision are actually really safe from that. Bit of a false start on this point now. Swing round, big slow onto the backline. Oh, they are just deleted there. Symbol came out as well. And Bright Future. I mean, it was such a bright start, but it's dwindling, isn't it? Dwindling. Couple of really poor fights for Bright Future, and it feels like they've been behind in ultimates for almost a point and a half now. Tight hold on the choke. They're coming back with Annihilation and beat. Team Vision have 2 ults to match and a third one on the way. TP comes through. They come in, boop out of that one. Big pressure onto Captain Prash, who beats but the shield. Oh, it's a one-person beat for Prashy. Annihilation now from Poro, but he needs for Lamp. He is full blocking. They are on the back foot. Well and truly Bright Future. A disaster beat. I don't know if it was the Sim Wall or the Ram Shield, but something blocked that bloody beat. Nobody gets it. And that's going to be a quick second point for Team Vision, and all of a sudden Vision are 1 round away from securing their spot in the lower bracket final tomorrow. And the ults to try again. Bright Future. It's been 2 points since we've really had any ult value, it feels like. Maybe 1.5, but still, that's too many. They have High Noon coming back, but Team Vision have great answers. They can beat into it. They can annihilate into it. Can they get a TP flip going here? Wall up, slow there. The slow is going to get huge value. High Noon and Lamp comes out, but they've taken so much damage. They are so low. The beat in to make sure no one trades to that High Noon, and it is a monster annihilation. Oh, actually, they didn't even High Noon. Oh, yeah, actually, it's an overuse. Sorry, I thought it was just for 1 ult, but into a High Noon, which was really fine, but they didn't even High Noon, so it's actually 2 ults for nothing for Vision. So it looks kind of cool, and AMDP has got 1 billion damage off that, but it's actually a really heavy investment there. AMDP and Violet basically using their ults to do the same thing. One of them would have sufficed. So now they are in the ult hole, and finally, an opening for Bright Future in the economy. We're going to try and go left-hand side, maybe just flip towards point. But Team Vision are here in time. Slow Dive's going to mess up his jump, actually. Early dink onto SXJ as they flip. It's a High Noon flip coming out. They can deep peek this and contest late with the Remarch Reform. And then Slow Dive can use his own overclock. There's a Qadsiah as well, TP'd in. Misses for rail, but still gets the kill. Slow Dive now with an overclock to close this one out if he wants it. He's going to kill Captain Prash immediately. Takes down the window. There's a good kill from SXJ, but needs to help Remarcher on point. Poro Blaze is going to get beamed down. And they haven't given the flip here either. They can stagger out this sim. SXJ already has Sim Wall, so they're not even giving a ult charge. SXJ is going to try and play for a TP out, but can't get there. One last desperate fight for Bright Future to cling into this series. They have a Sim Wall. It's a 1 versus 1 ult situation. MBHD has gone on to Venture now as well to get in the mix with this. Captain Prash. Where is Captain Prash? Not with the team at all. Needs to try and regroup. Sim Wall is out as they go to point, but Captain Prash will not make it. MBHD can't make it as well. They don't even touch. And oh dear. Bright Future extinguished. And Team Vision close it out 3-0. As we expected. And yeah, I think we get to see, I mean, the way these playoffs sort of were set up was we had a slightly weakened now Qadsiah, a slightly weakened Twisted Minds, and Team Vision at full strength. And it looked like that was going to be a pretty, you know, a 3-horse race with Vision maybe slight underdogs. Bright Future, really their win in many ways was being the best of the rest. Getting a chance to feature in the playoffs, getting a chance to play on stage. And even though they were outclassed, we only saw the last map, but I think given the state of what we saw, there was a bit of life, but ultimately outclassed by what is a pretty talented actually Team Vision team. Alright, so let me get those predictions cashed. And then it's dinner time for me. Oh, thank you, Jacob.
Can we get a title change?
Oh yeah. Well, I'm about to go off anyway, Jacob, so late to the market.
ويعتبر برضو من افضل تنكات العالم.
Appreciate the 9 months, though. Has it really only been a 9-month sub, Jacob? It feels like you've been here longer. Watch our scrims. It's dinner time. And there's nothing you can say, not an argument in the world you can make, to convince me your streams are going to be better than my dinner. Your scrims are going to be better than my dinner. Not even a gifted sub. We'd have to go... We put a number on it. We'd have to go north of 200 subs. Come back after dinner? No, I'm going to spend some time with my wife. We're going to watch the end of Squid Game Season 3. No spoilers. I'll order you a dinner and your wife. No, we've already cooked. I made potato salad earlier, Jacob. The dinner isn't the problem. The scrims are the problem. Is anyone streaming it, Jacob? Is it actually? Give us their Twitch. What scrims with your wife? Is it Pad Sander their Twitch? Pad Sander. Or is it? I don't know if it's live yet. He's a client. You've literally got... You've got minutes to get it in. You've got minutes to get it in line. And then you can have the viewers. There's already a Season 3 of Squid Games. Yeah, but Season 3... I don't know if you've watched Season 2 yet, but Season 2 kind of finishes quite abruptly. Season 3 and Season 2, it really feels like they're actually... It's like the same story arc, even though they split them into different seasons. You start to think I'm prioritizing my wife over watch esports. Yeah. Well, ask her opinion on that. Jacob, you've got until 6:57 to get it together. If you can't get it together, I'll just give him to Hattie or something.
ما بتكون زي قوة المباراة اللي بتكون بكرة. الآن خلاص بكرة فرصة الأخيرة. أنت تخسر تطلع برا البطولة. أنت تفوز تروح للجراند فاينل. فحرفيا مسألة حياته.
Want sub to wait until 6? No dice. It's on. All right. I'm following already. All right. Thank you very much for everyone who watched today. Good stream. Good stream. We'll be back for more Saudi eLeague action tomorrow. It starts at 2 or 20 past 2 BST as well. So about 4 hours, 40 minutes ago, depending on what time zone you're in. Maybe that helps. So yeah, stay tuned for that. Stay tuned for that. We'll be back for an action. If you miss any of today's action, you can catch it on the VOD. You can catch it on the YouTube VOD, my VOD channel on YouTube, or the live stream, or the VOD of the live stream on YouTube. And I'll see you all tomorrow for some more action. I'll send you over to Pad Sander. All right, there we go. They're about to scrim as well, so be sure to wish them luck. And honestly, they probably need some coaching as well. So feel free to backseat coach them as much as possible. I think they'll really appreciate it. They'll enjoy all the feedback and insight you have. So don't be scared to give your feedback, all right? So I'll see you all tomorrow. Good luck in your scrims. And have a good evening.